Who Time Crash, the 2007 Children in Need, is written by Stephen Moffat and starring David Tennant and Peter Davidson. So the minisode is produced by Russell T Davies and Julie Gardner. They decided to release it as a Children in Need. Julie Gardner asked Stephen Moffat to write the special with the stipulations the scene could be shot in one day and one set, and without any CGI effects. Time Crash was shot at Upper Boat Studios in Upper Boat, Cardiff, as part of the fourth recording block of Series 4, including Partners in Crime on 7th of October 2007. Moffat's script started by repeating Martha's departure. The script indicated that this time we stay with the Doctor, as before. The Doctor takes a moment, then slam the controls. So after Martha left the TARDIS, and before the Titanic crashed, the TARDIS went berserk, so the Doctor had to settle it down. Then the Fifth Doctor appears, which is so cool.
What? What? What?
Peter Davidson is the Doctor that David Tennant grew up with, which you can tell.
You know what, Doctor? You were my Doctor.
And he later became his father-in-law. It must be bizarre for him. Peter Davidson still nailed the role as the Fifth Doctor, even after 2 decades later.
Yeah, right on time, that's my cue.
In less than a minute, we're going to detonate a black hole strong enough to swallow the entire universe!
Graham Harper directed this minisode, which, funny enough, he directed the Fifth Doctor's departure story, The Caves of Androzani.
Adric?
You know that. You mustn't die, Doctor.
To replicate the outfit, the production team borrowed items from the Doctor Who exhibition in Blackpool and knitted a new cricket jumper to reflect the style worn from Castrovalva to Warriors of the Deep. Doctor Who Confidential episode revealed that the trousers Peter Davidson wore was the same as what Colin Baker wore in his early scenes in the Twin Dilemma. Stephen Moffat described the Fifth Doctor as having a frock coat, cricket jersey, a stick of celery on his lapel. Love that it has a lot of references to the Fifth Doctor stories, like disusing sonic screwdriver after what happened in The Visitation.
Isn't my day, is it? I feel as though you've just killed an old friend.
The mentions of his 2 companions, Nessa and Tegan, as well as the Cybermen from Earthshock and the 5 Doctors.
Where are you now? Miss and Tegan, Cybermen and Mara and Tunnels and Funny Hats and the Master. Oh, he just showed up again. Same as ever.
So, we meet again, Doctor.
The Mara from Kinder and Snake Dance. Time Lords from Arc of Infinity.
But the power of this creature is outside the limits of what we know, Doctor.
Lord President, I ask for time to have this fully investigated.
And the Master, the recurring villain of the era.
You escaped from Zerafas.
Oh, my dear Doctor, you have been naive.
The 10th Doctor explains that the effects of the paradox the TARDIS collision had caused is the reason why the 5th Doctor looks older than usual, as Davidson left the role 23 years before. It is a great minisode. Before I first watched it, which is on BBC Live, on November 2007, I was 9 years old, and I still wasn't aware of classic era Doctor Who, the ones before Christopher Eccleston at the time, so my mum told me that there was going to be 2 Doctors, and at first I thought there was going to be something like 2 David Tennants, or perhaps Chris coming back, but then when Peter Davidson showed up, I was so confused, as I've never seen him before. I was like, who's he? That's the Doctor? Then of course, after I got the first DVD Files issue, that's where I realised about the previous Doctors.
Show you his history, his friends, and his enemies. The Doctor Who DVD Files, at your newsagent now.
Information. Doctor Who Voyage of the Damned, the 2007 Christmas special, is written by Russell T Davies and starring David Tennant and Kylie Minogue. So yeah, while Series 3 was airing back in 2007, Kylie Minogue's creative director Will Baker approached the production team, requesting if Minogue can appear in the show, and Julie Gardner, the executive producer, said she could guest star in one episode if her schedule was free. So Kylie Minogue became a one-off companion, Astrid Peth, to allow the show to transfer the companion from Martha to Penny originally in Series 4, but eventually replaced by Catherine Tate as Donna Noble, who appeared in The Runaway Bride. So Russell T Davies took the inspiration from a 1972 disaster film, The Poseidon Adventure, with the ship turning upside down.
I told you I was going to get everybody out of here, and damn it, I'm going to do it!
Kylie Minogue described her cigarette girl outfits the most comfortable she's worn in years. So this special episode begins with the Doctor bump into Titanic, and he managed to use the console to fix the wall and landed inside it. And I love the set, and I love the bit where the Doctor looked outside when he's like, right, and we see the Titanic, and the new intro theme is stunning. So the Doctor meets Astrid after she bumps into Rixton Slade and drops the tray full of glasses.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Just Doctor, not Sir.
I like the moment where the Doctor tells Astrid that he's a stowaway, so Astrid decides to get the Doctor a drink. So the Doctor meets a couple in a fancy dress eating a buffalo wing. Apparently Foon Van Hoff, who's played by Debbie Chazin, is based off Belle Rosen. I think Debbie Chazin and Clive Rowe are great as Foon and Marvin Van Hoff. And yes, that is Duke Ellington from the story of Tracy Beaker. I really like those heavenly hosts. I think they're really cool. So we had Weeping Angels in Blink and the Archangel Network in The Sound of Drums and Last of the Time Lords. Russell T Davies describes the hosts are functionally different as subordinate robot butlers.
Did they tell you why it was famous?
Information. All designations are chosen by Mr. Max Capricorn.
They reveal that the ship's namesake is indeed derived from the notoriety of a human vessel. All designations are chosen by Max Capricorn, who's a businessman from the planet Stowe. While Chief Stewart and security guards figure out that there's something wrong with the hosts, we introduce to Mr. Copper, played by Clive Swift, who previously appeared in Revelation of the Daleks as Mr. Jopal. He tells people with Red 67 ticket, the Doctor who used the psychic paper, and Astrid who hides behind the Doctor, that they're visiting London. His speech is pretty interesting, when it's obviously wrong, but he says that Santa Claus is the god and marries Mary, and people from UK eat Turkish people every Christmas like savages, and the Doctor obviously disbelieved that. When he asks Mr. Copper where he got the information from, he did a degree in Earthonomics, which makes me want to know what else they say about Earth.
Where did you get all this from?
Well, I have a first-class degree in economics.
We also have small red alien called Banagafalata, a cyborg Zochi played by Jimmy V. I think he's really cool. I liked the bit when they appeared in London on Earth and how Astrid reacted to it, especially when she's like, alien shops and this place stinks. Yes, Bernard Cribbins made his first appearance as Wilfred Mott, Donna's granddad.
Right, yes. Scared of what?
Where have you been living? London? At Christmas? Not safe, is it?
Bernard appeared in Daleks Invasion Earth 2150 AD as Tom Campbell in Peter Cushing films.
You don't seem to realise there's been a serious crime committed. I don't know what you're all up to. I ought to report you for this. 2150.
Wilfred mentions that London at Christmas isn't safe because of Webstar draining the Thames and Sigarax's ship. I thought the song Stowaway by Yamit Mamo is pretty catchy.
You shouldn't be here, what's your tale? I ought to throw you to the whale.
I also find Max Capricorn's speech on screen when he says, "My name is Max," and his gold teeth went ping. Funny.
And I should know because my name is Max.
It's like Harry from Home Alone, and they're both bad guys and they're set in Christmas times. What a coincidence.
Merry Christmas.
The Doctor notices a meteorite is heading to Titanic and the shields are down, so he tries to warn the captain and everyone, but because he's not authorised to use a comm, Stewart and his men removes the Doctor from the party, followed by Astrid, Morven, Foon, Mr. Copper and Banagavalata trying to defend the Doctor. Rixton Slade sees one of the meteorite broke into a Titanic, so he tells Stewart that the shields are down. I think Gray O'Brien is great. Midshipman Frame, also known as Alonso, tries to turn the shields on, but he got shot. Still alive, thankfully. The captain being promised a crew of an old men who had their time, not boys. So then the asteroids crash into Titanic with Murray Gold's fantastic music. Most of lives in Titanic are lost, but obviously there are some survivors. Jeffrey Palmer, who played the captain, previously appeared in Doctor Who and the Silurians as Edward Masters, and the Mutants as the Administrator. So Chief Stewart opened the bulkhead and got sucked into space and killed, and we see the TARDIS flying down to Earth as it's programmed to lock onto the nearest gravity. If it didn't happen, I think it would be quite a short Christmas special. The great scene is where the Doctor explains his plans and introduces himself, saying,
The Doctor. I'm a Time Lord. I'm from the planet Gallifrey in the constellation of Kasterborous. I'm 903 years old and I'm the man who's going to save your lives.
That's my favourite Doctor speech. It really shows us who he is. I noticed this episode is quite graphical, and we see more blood. Mr. Copper's head, the dead captain's head, and especially Alonso's stomach. And the sound effects where the host threw a hoop at the engineer.
Stop it! Stop it right now!
So they climb through the wreckage, fixing a host, without realising they're bad, until Midshipman Frame warns them after he heard the kitchen staff getting killed over the comm. It's quite intense after when the host strangled Morven and everyone ran from it.
Information. Killing.
But luckily they crushed it with their scraps. We also have nice moments where everyone finds food. Mr. Copper mentions the Earth time, that it's Christmas Day, and they're saying Merry Christmas. And apparently Mr. Copper was a travelling salesman who also reached retirement with little to show for life's work. He liked the company to have a first-class degree in Earthonomics to get the job of ship historian and feared about 10 years in jail. I love the line where the Doctor was like, "Can I call you Banner?" but Banner Gaffalata says no. So the host came, so everyone reached the engine room. Sadly Morven fell into the engine furnace, the floor broke where he stood on, and obviously Foon is pretty devastated and couldn't live without him. The deaths in this episode is brutal and of course really sad. The scene where the hosts are flying, throwing their hoops in the Doctor, Mr. Copper, Astra and Banner Gaffalata picking metal up and using it as a cricket bat is another fantastic scene. Banner Gaffalata really kicks ass when he sacrificed himself to destroy nearly all hosts. It's a shame that they killed him off. He was to buy Astrid a drink before marrying her, but sadly it won't happen. Foon gets to join Morven after she ties a rope on a host to save the Doctor and jumped into the furnace with that host. So the survivors uses Banner Gaffalata's EMP unit as a weapon against the hosts. Before the Doctor investigates Deck 31, Astrid kisses him for good luck. And yeah, David Tennant gets to kiss Kylie Minogue. David, you lucky man. I just like the scene where the Doctor raises a pan while surrounded by 4 hosts, and he thinks he can only ask 3 questions, the fact that there's 4 of them, so he can ask 12 questions. He could just ask another host. Because he's a stowaway, he gets taken to their boss, Max Capricorn, inside a machine. George Costigan as Max Capricorn is great. I love the banter between the Doctor and Max, I think it's entertaining, and also the best interrogation soundtrack. I wish it's not one of those unreleased music.
You can't even sink the Titanic!
Oh, but I can, Doctor!
Max's plans are crash the Titanic to Earth, blow up its nuclear storm drive and wipe the life out from Earth so he can retire to Penhaxio 2, which is because his company failed and his board kicks them out, so he wanted revenge. Russell T Davies based him off Kansas in the Wizard of Oz film. He also wanted to make the scene intense by changing Max from mobile to cybernetic. I love the soundtrack where Astra drives in forklift truck and crashing into Max. The scene where Astrid forces herself and Max falling down to the furnace is really sad. First watching it, I did not expect it. I was actually hoping Astrid would be the next companion. I really loved that character and Kylie Minogue betraying her. But originally it wasn't going to happen, but Russell thought it would be best so Kylie can focus on her music career, and he felt that scene as a beautiful image and romanticised. Kylie's a great singer. I remembered when this song was playing on radio when I was little. And I thought it was catchy. Because Max is dead, the host sees the Doctor as the highest authority, so he gets them to fly him all the way to the bridge. It's a brilliant gag when Midshipman Frame revealed his first name is Alonso, and the Doctor is like,
That's something else I've always wanted to say.
Alonso!
The scene where the Titanic falls down to the earth and the Doctor flies it over Buckingham Palace is one of the most epic scenes in Doctor Who history. Especially the soundtrack, it's a blast to watch. It's a nice moment where the Queen waves and thanked the Doctor and wished him a Merry Christmas. This is how I see the Doctor. Like I said, he's a hero who saves lives. You can see why David Tennant is my favourite Doctor, and also because I grew up with him as the Doctor. I obviously can't blame the Doctor trying to get Astra back, plus she's wearing a teleport bracelet where she fell. But sadly she's just an atom, so the Doctor allow her to fly so she can travel forever.
You're not falling, Astrid. You're flying.
Rixton throughout this episode cares no one but himself. He makes unkind jokes. Until in the end he thanked the Doctor. Alonso sent SOS to a rescue ship and digging out the records on Max Capricorn. So the Doctor saved Mr. Copper from prison, teleported himself and Mr. Copper to Earth. He didn't want Mr. Copper to travel with him, but the credit card he's carrying, £1 million, is worth 50 million credits. So Mr. Copper is happy that he's got money and he can get himself a house and a normal life on Earth. And yes, everyone on Titanic, except the Doctor of course, are from the planet Stowe. So when the Doctor wishes him a Merry Christmas and goes inside the TARDIS, I hope it didn't land on anyone when it fell.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Copper.
And we also get the memory of Verity Lambert, the first producer of Doctor Who, which is nice because sadly she died in 22nd of November 2007. Information, I really loved that episode. I remembered when I first saw the trailer, I think it came out December 2007. I was 9 back then.
I'm the Doctor. I'm a Time Lord.
I couldn't be more excited when I saw it because how cool it looked. Voyage of the Damned's definitely my top 3 favourite Christmas specials. What do you guys think of this episode? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. Doctor Who Partners in Crime, the first episode of Series 4, is written by Russell T Davies and starring David Tennant and Catherine Tate. So yeah, all the episode titles are revealed in 5th of April 2008, except episode 12, The Stolen Earth, because, well, that would have given it away. They described episode 9 as River's Run, but changed it into Forest of the Dead. So like the previous series, all the episodes have story arcs. First we have Bad Wolf, then Torchwood, and then Saxon. So in the arc of the 4th series, Doctor Who magazine's preview of Partners in Crime described the arc as an element from every episode, whether it's a person, a phrase, a question, a planet, or a mystery, builds up to the grand final. There's mentions of bees disappearing, planets have been lost or stolen, and Rose appearing. This is the final full series for David Tennant as the 10th Doctor. Also Russell T Davies as the head writer and Julie Gardner as executive producer until series 14. The character Penny Carter was going to be the next companion, but then Catherine Tate requested to return as Donna Noble to travel with the Doctor in series 4, as she had a blast filming the 2006 Christmas special, The Runaway Bride. So instead, Penny is used as a journalist in this episode, played by Verona Joseph. After Tate's request was granted, if Penny was the companion, she would have been played by a different actress. Russell T Davies said that they're delighted that one of Britain's greatest talents has agreed to join us for the 4th series. She was received criticism comparing to Daniel Craig when he's announced as the next James Bond until they saw them and realise they're outstanding. So Davis based the character Miss Foster on Super Nanny Jo Frost, and Eva Perrin, the actress Sarah Lancashire, compared her character with Mary Poppins. We have monsters who appear in one episode designed to scare people, such as Werewolf and Professor Lazarus. As for adipose, they're written as cute. Davis also made some changes to Donna because Rose and Martha, who fell in love with the Doctor, but Donna was just like the Doctor's friend. Whenever the Doctor does something wrong, straight away she has none of it. So the episode begins with the Doctor and Donna walking in the streets and walking into Adipose Industries. Funny we have Stark Industries, and this episode came out the same year as Iron Man did. We have a presentation of Foster can of beer recommended for everyone. Drink it so much and they'll get badly drunk. Just kidding, I just like to use that gag. So, Miss Foster does the presentation of a pill to lose fat, and I like how they used the gag for their plan by using the fat just walks away as a slogan. After the Doctor and Donna asks different people working the office for customers' address, and Donna has a pendant, if anyone twisted it, it activates the birthing process of adipose. So Donna visits to a woman called Stacey Campbell, who's getting ready to dump her boyfriend, saying she can do better than him.
You going on a date?
I'm doing the opposite. I'm dumping him. I can do better than him now.
Well, that's nice. Not like he's got feelings. So she goes into the bathroom putting some makeup on. Donna decides to play with a pendant, which gets an adipose out of Stacey. Miss Foster has detected it, so she gets her guards to find it, and because she's aware that there's a witness, she uses a pendant to force more adipose out of Stacey, and her body melts with several adipose appearing. I just love the scene where adipose waved at Donna and jumped out the window. I always thought the adipose are cute. Wouldn't mind to have one as a cuddly toy. While that event is happening, the Doctor visits Roger Davey, who took that pill just like Stacey did. When he loses weight, he can hear a burglar alarm set off at night when he woke up. The Doctor is guessing it could be the cat flap, thinking they don't just let things in, they let things out, and remembering the slogan, the fat just walks away.
The fat just walks away.
So the Doctor's detector device went off. I just love the scene where the Doctor runs around the street carrying that device with his long brown coat on. It just makes him look cool. So after Donna tells the taxi driver that Stacey is gone and he drove really annoyed, Donna returns home to her mum Sylvia, and she seems to see Donna as a child when she asks what time it is. And Donna's sitting at a kitchen table with a cup while Sylvia goes on and on about her not getting a job. Donna later went up the hill to see her granddad, Wilfred Mott, played by Bernard Cribbins, the character who previously appeared in Voyage of the Damned. Apparently Howard Atfield, who played Jeff Noble in The Runaway Bride, originally reprised the role in Series 4, but he sadly died in October 2007, so his scenes were refilmed with Bernard Cribbins as Wilfred, Donna's granddad. And the footage is available, I've seen it, and I think it's a nice scene.
That mad Christmas? I wish you'd tell us really what happened.
I know.
I really love the chemistry between Donna and Wilfred and the banter they have. I think Bernard is fantastic. Donna reveals that she regrets declining the offer to travel with the Doctor and requesting to Wilf if he sees a flying blue box he could shout at it. I think the scene where the Doctor examines a pendant and realises he's talking to himself is funny and sad at the same time because Martha isn't there.
Seems to be a BioFlip digital stitch specifically for...
So Donna nicks Sylvia's car and parks where the TARDIS was going to land, and went back to the Adipose Industries, and hides in a lady's toilets while the Doctor hides in a cupboard. After 8 hours and 40 minutes later, blimey. The Doctor leaves his hiding place. Sylvia phones Donna that she needed the car while she's hiding, pretending that she's in church for praying. But then Miss Foster bursts in with her 2 guards because they have a thief in the building. It is intense when the guards kicks every toilet cubicle door open until they found Penny because Miss Foster's results are fake. So they took Penny into Miss Foster's office. Donna and the Doctor followed them. Donna looks through the office door and the Doctor uses the window cleaning cradle and watched the same event. and this is where they found each other. We get a hilarious scene that they're talking silent using sign language. It's absolutely hysterical. When Miss Foster saw them and was like,
We're interrupting you.
so they ran off and reunite at the stairs, and Donna pointing out the Doctor is wearing the same suit as she met him is really funny.
You've got the same suit! Don't you ever change?
Yeah, thanks, Donna. I'm all right now.
So while Miss Foster and her guards chase after them, the Doctor and Donna went down to the window cleaning cradle just after the Doctor says he's the only one who could operate it unless Miss Foster has a sonic of her own, which would be unlikely. But it turns out she has a sonic pen. I was like, oh! So she speeds up the cradle so the Doctor managed to stop it, but sets fire on the cable and it snapped. So Donna fell and grabbed onto the cable, which looks intense. I bet a lot of people who has phobia of heights cannot watch that. So the Doctor uses his sonic screwdriver to disarm Miss Foster and nicely catch that sonic pen, otherwise they'd be screwed if he misses. I find the scene funny where the Doctor opens the window, climbing through, and fell on the floor. So while Miss Foster heads back downstairs to find out who the Doctor is, the Doctor goes to Miss Foster's office to get Donna inside and set Penny free. But sadly she messed up her chance getting out of the building by searching for evidence, and she gets caught by Miss Foster and her guards, so they tied her up. So in the main office, the Doctor and Donna finally catches up with Miss Foster and her guards. She notices off-world judging by the sonic technology. We learn that she uses a gag foster mother for Miss Foster. Her real name is Matron Ophelia. Nursery Fleet Intergalactic class, and those pills are Spark of Life. Adipose are made of fats they can convert bone, hair and organs. All she does is look after the children for their parents because the planet Adipose 3 is lost. The Doctor tells her what she does is against galactic law.
Seeding a level 5 planet is against galactic law.
Are you threatening me?
I'm trying to help you, Matron.
So Miss Foster attempts to get the guards to shoot them, so the Doctor uses Sonic Pen and his sonic screwdriver, holding them against each other to make a loud noise, and it's pretty badass, I have to say. So the Doctor and Donna ran to the cupboard where he hid all day. It has a secondary inducer Miss Foster has wired the building. As the Doctor managed to stun her guards with the force field, Donna has a catch up with the Doctor, which is a nice moment. He tells her that Rose is still gone, but he had a friend, Martha Jones. Donna mentioned that she went to Egypt, but then of course Miss Foster activates the inducer from her office. As a result, everyone who took the pill gave birth to adipose, and there's a matter of time that they're gonna die. Because Miss Foster has feared the Doctor called the Shadow Proclamation for her illegal actions, so she calls the adipose to collect their children. Meanwhile, Sylvia has a night out with her friend Suzette at the pub, and there's adipose popping out of her. Luckily, Donna has a second capsule, so she gave it to the Doctor, and everyone who took the pill is saved. But the 10,000 adiposes heading to that building causes a lot of traffic chaos. I thought that spaceship hovering is pretty cool. Looks kinda like Independence Day. And I love the sound effects on that as well. It's also funny when there's a spaceship flying behind Wilfred, but he has his headphones on listening to Dusty Springfield looking through his telescope. Unaware about the spaceship, we learned that it's a nursery ship, so the levitation beam came down and adipose float up, and Miss Foster joins them. The Doctor looks at the inducer, realising that it's Miss Foster's in trouble, not people, this time. So they went to the roof.
I'm waving at fats.
Then they found Miss Foster levitated. The Doctor tells her that the adipose family knows the action is a crime, and they wanted to get rid of the accomplice, but Miss Foster says that she's a nanny to those children. But the Doctor said that the parents have got the kids and they don't need the nanny anymore. And at that moment the levitation beam switched off, and Miss Foster, with a Scooby-Doo style pause and realising that, well, she's screwed, and fell to her death. I was like, whoa, when I first saw that. It's pity that the Doctor puts the sonic pen in the bin when that could come in handy. Could even work on Deadlock Seal and would. But then Penny shows up, still tied to a chair, and told the Doctor and Donna that she's going to report them for madness, which I like to see that. and Donna said some people can't just take it, which the Doctor and I agree. After Donna gave the Doctor a ridiculously amount of luggages, the Doctor lets Donna know it's a hard life and it has been complicated with Martha and he wants a mate. It was funny that Donna misunderstood and thought the Doctor wants to be mating with Donna.
You're not mating with me, Sunshine.
A mate. I want a mate.
Yet in the end, Donna puts the car keys in the bin and asks a blonde woman that bin there, which reveals to be Rose. I absolutely lost it when I first saw it. It's so great that Billie Piper came back as Rose. So Donna goes inside the TARDIS and it flew where Wilfred is. At first he yells, but then he finds out that Donna is in there with the Doctor, absolutely buzzing.
That's it! That's it!
So that's Partners in Crime. Absolutely a fantastic episode and a start of the series. What do you guys think of Partners in Crime? Let me know in the comments down below. Doctor Who, The Fires of Pompeii, the second episode of Series 4, is written by James Moran and it's starring David Tennant and Catherine Tate. So yeah, Russell T Davies has planned that in the first New Who series after watching Pompeii The Last Day documentary, but this episode position is given to Boomtown and the idea has been dropped for 3 years. James Moran, who wrote Torchwood, Sleeper and the Severance movie, has been requested to write this episode and he had a difficult time doing it. He had to rewrite the Doctor's opening lines over 20 times, and the Paravial were previously called Paraviliaxians and Paravelians. So the episode begins with the Doctor and Donna arrived in Pompeii. So we have Donna actually making fun of the show when it comes to TARDIS Translate, and she actually talks to a stallholder in Latin, but he thinks she's talking Celtic.
Vene vide vici.
Huh? Sorry? Me no speak Celtic. No.
The Doctor mentioned that Rome is like a Soho, but bigger. He has been there before and that fire had nothing to do with him, but a little bit, which happened at the end of an episode, The Romans, back in William Hartnell's era.
Brilliant! You are a genius, a genius! I will make you rich, rich!
The Doctor finds out they're in Pompeii and the day where volcano erupts, which is intense.
We're in Pompeii. And it's Volcano Day.
So the Doctor and Donna ran back to the TARDIS, but it's gone. I love the line where Donna says, "Don't get clever in Latin." So they ask a stallholder and it turns out he sold it, and they wanted it because, well, it's modern art.
Modern art! Out of the way, that's it! Oh, Rhombus, I'm a little bit peckish. Get me some ants and honey, there's a good lad.
Exactly what John Cleese called it in The City of Death.
For me, one of the most curious things about this piece is its wonderful afunctionalism.
Yes, I see what you mean.
Lobius Kaikili is played by a familiar face, Peter Capaldi, his first appearance in Doctor Who he later played John Frobisher in Torchwood's Children of Earth. And the 12th Doctor, I think Peter is fantastic. How can you not like him? Unfortunately, Kaikilius' wife isn't happy about it and called it a waste of space. The scene where Quintus, who's like, "Someone mentioned Vestal Virgins," crackled me up. Because he was rude, the ground shakes and everyone holds on the items so they don't fall. So he had to apologise to household gods. So the daughter, Evelina, has an eye tattoo on both of her hands, and she was promised to the Sibylline Sisterhood. I like the Sisterhood, I thought they looked nice. The leader High Priestess is kinda scary, especially when her voice changes and shouted, and we also have another familiar face as a soothsayer, Karen Gillan, not long before she played Amy Pond. So the Doctor and Donna arrived as Spartacus as they wanted the TARDIS back. Donna tries to get the family to leave the Pompeii, so then Lucius came to collect a sculpture. That's better. I think Phil Davis is fantastic. So Lucius has an electrical circuit giving the prophecies, which explains the story arc happening in the series. He tells the Doctor that she's returning, which is Rose Tyler, and also Pyrovilia, the planet, is missing. And he tells Donna there's something on her back, which is a time beetle. Evelina manages to explain the truth, finding out about the Doctor that he's from Gallifrey, Lord of Time, and his name is written on the Medusa Cascade. and Donna from London in many years in the future.
You are a lord, sir. A lord of time.
So then she faints. Man, these goosebumps. It's a great speech, I have to say. So while the Doctor is talking to Caecilius, Donna helps Metella support Evelina, and she realises that she has a stone arm. So the Doctor asks Quintus where Lucius lived. He ignored him at first until he finds a coin behind his ear. So Quintus leads the Doctor to Lucius' house. Quintus is shocked that there are 5 circuits because he said he only had 1. The Doctor explains that it's common practice for a criminal to acquire the required parts from the different places to avoid suspicion. Meanwhile, Evelina covers her eyes, communicating with the Sisterhood. Because they think Donna's false prophet, they say that she must be sacrificed. So the Doctor and Quintus got caught by Lucius and helped him assemble the marble plaques into a circuit board. We also find out that Lucius has a stone arm. Russell T Davies got James Moran to add jokes in there like Lucius Petrus Dexterus with a stone right arm, TK Maximus, and Spartacus from a Spartacus film.
Starring Kirk Douglas as Spartacus, slave, gladiator, invincible fighter.
Moran based Caecilius from Lucius Caecilius, Eucandus from the Cambridge Latin coursebook. So after the Doctor threw a stone arm back to Lucius and using his sonic screwdriver to knock the tablets down, and him and Quintus made a run for it, and they notice a shake. I love the way Lucius is like, "Show yourself." The actor did so well. Returning to Caecilius' home, the pyrovile came out from the underground. The effects is nicely done. It's scary and intense. Poor guy, that pyrovile breathed fire at him and got burnt. While Donna gets abducted by Sisterhood, the Doctor tries to reason with it, but then threw a bucket of water on it. So after it got destroyed, he noticed that Donna is missing. I just love the way Donna rants at the Sisterhood for using her as a sacrifice.
Listen, sister, you might have eyes on the back of your hands, but you'll have eyes on the back of your head by the time I finish with you. Let me go!
So the Doctor arrived to set Donna free. He talks to the High Priestess, and we learn that there's a pyrovile growing inside her, and that pyrovile in the villa is an adult pyrovile. So after Donna found a way to open the underground to the volcano, the Sisterhood say the weapon the Doctor is carrying is harmless, but he said it's got a sting, and yeah, it does, as he squirts at the High Priestess with a water pistol. I just love the way Donna points out that he fought her off with a water pistol. So down the volcano, the Doctor explains how he sees the universe, what it is, and what can happen. He answered that 20,000 people died, which upset Donna, and the Doctor didn't seem to be okay with it either. But he has to let it happen because, well, it's a fixed point in time. Because Pyrovile knows the Doctor and Donna are there, they locked themselves into escape pod, and they found out that Pyrovile are using Vesuvius to set up a fusion matrix to convert millions of humans into Pyroviles. The matrix will bleed off so much of Vesuvius pent-up energy that won't be enough to trigger the eruption. So they reverse the machine. Vesuvius roars into life. Suddenly the new prediction of Pompeii's destruction hits the soothsayer, as both Lucius and the Pyroviles at the centre of the explosion are destroyed almost instantly. So the Doctor and Donna ran through Pompeii and got back to Caecilius' home. As the volcano was erupting, they begged the Doctor to help, but he just went back into the TARDIS.
Save us, Doctor!
And Donna understandably yells at him and goes back into the TARDIS to try and get him to return, but he refuses, and he said if he could go back and save them, then he would, just like Gallifrey. But Donna asks the Doctor to save someone, not the whole town.
Not the whole town. Just save someone.
So the Doctor has a thought, and we get a brilliant scene where the TARDIS reappeared and the Doctor offers the family his hand and said, "Come with me."
Come with me.
That's the moment where the Doctor learned to always save someone at all costs. So the Doctor, Donna and the family watched the volcano erupted, and he mentions the powerful explosion. It cracked open a rift in time, which is what gave Evelina the prophecy. It echoes back into the Pyrovillian alternative, but she's free. So while the family are upset seeing the people dying, the Doctor and Donna went back to the TARDIS. Donna thanked him and he agrees that he sometimes needs someone. We get another welcome aboard line. I love it.
Welcome aboard.
So in the end, after 6 months later, the family moved elsewhere. Caecilius is back in business. Evelina wears a sexy outfit going on a date, with Caecilius going like, "You're not wearing that," but she points out like what girls wear. And yeah, Quintus is training to be a doctor, so he thanked the household gods with the stone image of the Doctor, Donna and the TARDIS, which is cool. So yeah, that's the Fires of Pompeii, best Rome episode. What did you guys think of it? Drop it down in the comments below. Doctor Who Planet of the Oods, the third episode of Series 4, is written by Keith Temple and it's starring David Tennant and Catherine Tate. So Russell T Davies wanted an Ood return because of their first appearance in The Impossible Planet and The Satan Pit. Two-parter has been possessed by a devil and thought of their temple should be an ice planet. Apparently Russell T Davies and Keith Temple thought this wasn't a fun episode of an old monster, as they felt there was an actual story to tell. Even Keith Temple and David Tennant said the existence of a species born to surf was complicated, the latter stating complications with Richard Dawkins' selfish gene theory. So the episode begins in the office at early 42nd century. A manager watches an Ood advert, so he asks an Ood that's with him to pass him a military files. And well, the Ood became possessed with a red eye and gave him the wrong file. When he asked again, the Ood killed the manager with a translating sphere.
Have a nice day.
After the title sequence, the Doctor and Donna has landed the TARDIS with a nice banter, so the Doctor is happy to see the real Snow. So after the walk they found a dead Ood that's been shot. It tells the Doctor that the circle must be broken. The red eyes with a lying roar sound is pretty scary and then falls back dead. This episode makes the Ood more terrifying. So at the factory complex, the Doctor joins the people with her PA Solana. When the Doctor uses a psychic paper, him and Donna pretends to be representing the Noble Corporation, so she invites them on a tour group and gave her speech about the Ood. I love the bit where she asks 3 Oods questions and the last one has dropped something and it made a Homer's dough sound.
All the better for seeing you.
And the comedy classic option, Ood, you dropped something.
So a main enemy, Mr. Halpin, played by Tim McInerney, I think he's fantastic. He said it's great to play a horrible villain. Mr. Halpin, who's the chief executive at the Ood operation, after his dad and his granddad, who every now and then loses his hair and gets Ood Sigma to serve him with hair tonic. The Doctor looks at the scanner and sees the planet similar to the Ood sphere, as he's been to Sensphere, referencing the Sensorites William Hartnell's era, a great Easter egg.
The best of our lives with you. Well, you have our answer. What do you propose to do?
We intend taking you down to the Sense Sphere.
So Mr. Halpin asks as security what's with the alarm, as apparently there's another red eye Ood on the loose, and eventually chained up so the guards shot the Ood. So the Doctor and Donna wanders outside. They see the group of Oods marching. One of them fell over, and the guard, who thinks accidents don't happen, by whipping the Ood to get up on the ground and ask them to march. It's really sad to see the way they treated the Ood. The Doctor and Donna finds a room full of containers with many Oods in each one, so they opened one of the containers, asked if the circle mean anything.
The circle must be broken.
Oh, that's creepy.
The reason why it must be broken, so they can sing. After Solana lets Mr. Halpin know that Noble Corporation doesn't exist, and also added the Doctor and Donna are missing, the security guards found them and set the alarm, but Mr. Halpin said no alarms. The guards got Donna into one of a container full of the Ood. The guards withdrawn as one of them is operating a claw to chase the Doctor with it, which is a blast to watch.
Container locked.
I was freaked out at first when a security is like, "Ha ha!" really does get carried away, doesn't he? And I'm like, calm down there, mate. Luckily, Solana pulled the key out of the machine because Mr. Halpern wanted them alive. So after they let Donna out of the container, the Ute came out and killed the guards. So while they're shooting at them, the Doctor, Donna and Solana ran off. He gave Solana a chance to help make things right. She has a thought but then calls for the guards to get after them and let Mr. Halpern know where they're heading. So inside the Ute conversion, they hear the singing. And we see the natural Ute, and they're carrying their brain, as the company cut off their brain and stitch it on the translator ball like a lobotomy. I love the scene where the guards came in and the Doctor locks himself in the cage and was like,
"Well, you're too late." Ha!
It's pretty funny. So we cut to the Doctor and Donna getting handcuffed in the office. Mr. Halpern sees Ood are nothing but animals and welcomed it. And Donna points out that what made them peaceful is born with their brains in their hands and trust anyone they met. Meanwhile, a security guard is planning to gas the Ood, as the group of Ood holding hands, unconverted and red-eye form, circles and sing. All the Ood are possessed and killed a rep. Which causes the panic and more people die. So Solana runs and gets the guards to shoot them, but then she gets killed by an Ood, which I wasn't expecting that. Apparently the only infection is still in the Ood sphere, nowhere else. And the Doctor needs to know what's connecting. But Mr. Halpern was like, it won't exist for very much longer, enjoy your Ood, and just walked off, as everyone else did. So after the Ood free the Ood and got the security in the cage to get gassed, Mr. Halpern tells Ood Sigma to join his people. So the possessed Ood came into the office and about to kill the Doctor and Donna. So they kept shouting, "Dr. Donna friends, the circle must be broken."
Dr. Donna friends! The circle must be broken! Dr. Donna friends! Must be broken! Dr. Donna friends! The circle must be broken! Friends! The circle!
And because the Ood hear the voice, the ones in the office are unpossessed, so they set the Doctor and Donna free. I was really freaked out when I saw one of the Ood jumped on a guard and rubbing tentacle at a guard's face. I was like, what the hell? So the Doctor and Donna ran through the snow, and after the explosion and falling they see Ood Sigma standing behind them. So he took them to the warehouse where the giant brain is, with 6 pylons surrounding it, which has been used to dampen the telepathy between Brain and the Ood for 200 years, forcing them to be servants. So Mr. Halpern came in and his friend Dr. Ryder, who reveals to be friends of the Ood. So Mr. Halpern threw him over the edge and gets devoured by a brain, which is pretty sick. While Mr. Halpern tries to shoot the Doctor and Donna, Ood Sigma keeps insisting Mr. Halpern to have a drink. So he asked if he poisoned him. Natural Ood must never kill. It was Ood graft, replacing hair tonic. It's a substance that suspended in biological compounds could change a human into an Ood. The scene where Mr. Halpern rips his scalp open, seeing Ood's flesh inside it, is really gross. I felt sick when I first watched it. I was only 9 and I remember my mum was like, ugh. Also the tentacles coming down his mouth and sneeze his brain out. Man, that's one of the grossest scenes in the Doctor Who history. It's pretty effective. Ood Sigma said the Ood will take care of Mr. Halpern, so the Doctor turns off the bomb as it's about to explode. So he turns off the pylons, the circle is broken, and the Ood is singing as the guards stop firing and stand down. And we have a nice ending. All the Oods that's out of Ood's sphere are coming back home. Ood Sigma letting Doctor and Donna know that they'll never be forgotten. Their children will sing of the Doctor Donna, and so is their children's children. Also the Ood Sigma tells them that their song is ending soon.
Every song must end.
Yeah.
So, that's Planet of the Ood, and this episode is Ood. I actually love that episode. What do you guys think of Planet of the Ood? Let me know in the comments down below. Doctor Who, the Sontaran Stratagem, the 4th episode, Series 4, is written by Helen Rayner and starring David Tennant, Catherine Tate and Freema Agyeman. So yeah, we have the return of the Sontarans who last appeared in the 2 Doctors.
Going badly, is it?
On the contrary, and thanks to the information you've just given me, I shall be back in time for the crucial battle.
Focusing on Unit and Martha Jones, who last appeared in Doctor Who Last of the Time Lords, while then appeared in 3 episodes of Torchwood Series 2. In terms of returning the old monsters, Russell T Davies said the Sontarans are always on his list, and they chose to set it on Earth in present day because all Sontarans except the Invasion of Time are set on Earth, which is fair enough if you ask me. So the story begins with, at the Ratigan Academy, a journalist gets thrown out while investigating because apparently a sat-nav in a car called Atmos is dangerous. Luke Ratigan couldn't care less and allowed Joe, a journalist, to leave, so after that he communicates with General Stahl to recommend killing her. As a result, the Atmos sat-nav is playing up the car and drove Joe straight down to the river. Russell T Davies couldn't resist adding an evil sat-nav and thought it's much more engageable and very Doctor Who. Meanwhile, the Doctor is teaching Donna how to fly a TARDIS, which is nice, but he then gets a phone call and it was Martha, and I think it's great that they bring her back in the next series.
Doctor, it's Martha, and I'm bringing you back to Earth.
So Martha waits in the alleyway, the TARDIS appears and the Doctor reunites with Martha, introducing her and Donna and telling them not to fight, and apparently engaged with Tom Milligan. Martha leaving allows Russell T Davies to change the character's personality from falling in love with the Doctor to mature and equal, having her reaction to meeting Donna different to Rose and Sarah Jane in the school reunion. So after Martha speaks to Walkie Talkie and we see Unit in the Atmos factory, seemingly arrested the workers, apparently the name United Nations Intelligence Task Force has been changed to Unified Intelligence Task Force because it's a request of the United Nations who refer the political climate and potential brand confusion. As reasons for association, the new acronym was coined by Davies after several meetings among the scriptwriters. So they go inside the mobile HQ and meet Colonel Mace, played by Rupert Holiday Evans, and I think he's great.
Doctor, Colonel Mace.
Sir. Oh, don't salute. But it's an honour, sir.
I love it when the Doctor mentions that he worked for them back in the 70s, you know, John Pertwee's era. When the Doctor wasn't sure if it was 1970s or 80s, the episode refers to inconsistencies in dating unit stories. We learn that there's people in a car with Atmos sat-nav have died, which is poison gas. Atmos stands for Atmospheric Emission System. We first see Atmos logo in Partners in Crime. I love the moment when Martha said we needed an expert and the Doctor was like, oh, who did you bring? But then realised it was him.
That's why I thought we needed an expert.
Really? Who'd you get? Oh, right, me, yes. Good.
The dumbest expert, I'd say. So meanwhile, 2 unit soldiers, Gray and Harris, searching around in the corridor and they find 2 workers guarding the door, but Stahl ordered to let them in. Those 2 are written as alien fodder. I really like this unit duo. Shame they got hypnotised and killed off. So in the laboratory, they find a lidded bath and there's vine coming from the inside. So they opened it and it's full of green liquid. And I was really freaked out when a naked body rose up. The look on the face, it's really creepy. We find out it's not really alive. It breathes through the embryo as they're growing a human body. So General Stahl appears. After Stahl stung Harris, he orders Gray to shoot, but the guns haven't worked because the room they're in is contained within a Cardellane signal that exercises the copper surface of the bullet, causes expansion in the barrel, rendering their guns useless as well as blocking their radio signals. So Gray is about to batter Stahl with his gun, but Stahl stung him as well. So then the Stahl took his helmet off.
I'm General Stahl of the 10th Sontaran Battle Fleet, known as Stahl the Undefeated.
So while the Doctor and Martha are looking at one thing, Donna has been looking through attendance file that there's not a single one has been off sick. So Mace ordered Martha to examine one of them. The Doctor finds out that the Atmos is created by Luke Ratigan. Luke attended primary school between 1990 and 1992. When he was 10, he was already developing professional level software, and then when he was 12 he invented the Foundation 6 search engine, which made him a millionaire almost overnight. In his later teens, feeling anthropic and unappreciated by society, he works with the Sontarans to develop the Atmos car device which effectively eliminated all CO2 emissions of a car. So the Doctor and Donna got into a jeep with Ross. While Private Grey and Harris are hypnotised, Martha listens to one of the workers' heartbeat, who seems emotionless and doesn't blink.
Mr. Trepal, have you ever had any form of hypnosis?
I'm here to work.
Okay.
He works 24 hours a day, bloody hell. So Martha is looking for Mace. No, not that Mace. There we go. So the unit soldiers takes Martha somewhere. Donna gets dropped off at home. She reunites with Wilfred Mott, and he advised her not to tell her mum. So the Doctor and Ross meets Luke, who's played by Ryan Sampson, and I think he did well. I also love the character Ross Jenkins. Shame they killed him off as well in the next episode. I think Christian Cook did a fantastic job. So the Doctor looks around the academy with students wearing red hoodies and track suits and looking at cool looking science lab. He also noticed that Luke couldn't have created the equipment on his own, and he noticed a tunnel shaped sculpture as a teleport pod, and he ends up on a Sontaran spaceship. And there's a funny moment in this scene, like, how did I get in there? In through the window, bye, and teleports back.
They're coming with me.
Stahl calling himself General Stahl of the 10th Sontaran Fleet. Stahl the undefeated. The Doctor was like, what's it going to be after he's defeated? Stahl, they're not quite so undefeated anymore, but never mind. That's funny. And also Ross saying that he looks like talking baked potato. I just love the Doctor just making fun of Sontaran. It's entertaining. Christopher Ryan is great as General Stahl. So the Doctor bounces a tennis ball at the wall and it hits Stahl's probic vent and made a run for it. Probic vent at the back of Sontaran's neck is their weakness. Depending how hard you hit it, it can stun them or kill them. Stahl fixed the teleports, then him and Luke went to the Sontaran ship, and we introduced Commander Scar, the Bloodbringer, played by Dan Starkey, who later plays Strax in Moffat era, and I think he's brilliant. Meanwhile, the Doctor and Ross in the Jeep. The Atmos is controlling it, so the Doctor found a clever way of ordering it doing the other way. So him and Ross got out of the Jeep and took cover and thought it was going to explode, but it was just a couple of tiny sparks. Apparently the government refuses to remove Atmos until the system has proven dangerous. Originally there was going to be a huge explosion, but Helen Raynaud changed it to several sparks to reduce costs and to lampoon an action movie cliche.
Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, left. Oh, is that it?
While Stahl thinks the Doctor is dead, the Doctor arrived in Chiswick at Donna's house, looking at Sylvia's car. I love the reunion moment with the Doctor and Wilfred as they've met in Voyage of the Damned. Wilfred realises the Doctor is an alien, so they properly introduced each other.
Ah, it's you!
Who? Oh. It's you!
What, have you met before?
Later, Sylvia isn't happy to see the Doctor again because of the aborted wedding from the runaway bride, while Wilfred was having a Spanish flu. This episode is like Aliens of London and the Lazarus Experiments when they get the Doctor to meet the parents, which is nice, and I think it's about time we have a family trusting the Doctor, such as Wilfred Mott. As David Tennant said, a long line of mothers that don't quite get the Doctor. Meanwhile, Martha is strapped up to the trolley near the bath full of green liquid. Score appears, and I was expecting to see that freaky face naked body again, but it turns out we have naked clone Martha.
You can't.
So they force the real Martha to sleep while the clone one is in the factory with two hypnotised unit soldiers. I love the line where Sylvia's like, what sort of Doctor blows up cars?
I told you! He's blown up the car! Who is he anyway? What sort of Doctor blows up cars? Oh, not now, Mum.
It's amusing. So after the Doctor phones clone Martha to let the unit know about the Sontarans, she hangs up and tells Colonel Mace that everything's fine. So the Doctor finds out that the gas is poisonous. Wilfred tries to move the car out, but Stahl ordered it to converters to be activated, and everyone deadlocked, so Wilfred is locked in, and they can't get him out. It's happening everywhere. Even Unit is shooting at their jeeps. So the Doctor looks as the gas is spraying everywhere with car alarms setting off, with Sontarans and Luke going Sonta Ha. So they're planning an invasion, which leads to cliffhanger. Man, what an episode. I really enjoyed this one. What did you guys think of the Sontaran Stratagem? Let me know in the comments down below. Doctor Who The Poison Sky, the 5th episode of Series 4, is written by Helen Rayner and starring David Tennant, Catherine Tate and Freema Agyeman. So yeah, the second Sontaran and the Atmos part of story, the Doctor kept trying to get Wilfred out, but then Sylvia uses an axe to get him out. I was like, yes, thank God they didn't kill him off. So they safely got Wilfred in, so Donna went with the Doctor as Ross got a taxi cab because that's the only vehicle he can find without Atmos, and drove up to where the factory is. While Donna remains in the TARDIS, the Doctor finds the clone Martha after she downloaded NATO security protocols onto a memory stick and ordered hypnotized Private Grey and Harris to transport the TARDIS to the Sontaran spaceship. They were going to have the TARDIS show the movable column in the center console move up and down much more rapidly than normal, but it broke, so they had to spend 30 minutes to fix it. So Colonel Mace decides to launch the missile, but the Doctor tells him not to. However, Martha's clone cancelled it twice. Meanwhile, Luke gets back to Ratigan Academy to show his students the plan, but because they have family, they laughed at him and left Luke as he couldn't bring himself to shoot them. So he teleports back to Sontaran ship to let them know that he's failed, but found out that they were the target practice, so they were about to shoot Luke, but he teleported back and they lost the teleport. I find it funny when the Doctor was talking to Sontarans on screen while they're saying Sonta Ha, he changed the channel to Tommy Zoom cartoon with his sonic screwdriver.
Give me a break.
Doctor!
They were originally going to use Shaun the Sheep footage, but it got changed to Tommy Zoom for some reason. Also, Catherine Tate said that she's been filming with 10 actors playing Sontarans, and she thought they ran on electricity, but she realised that they're real people as they took their helmet off. She almost died of fright.
You've got to go outside.
But there's Sontarans out there.
Sontarans, but they'll be on battle stations right now. They don't exactly walk about having coffee.
Also, Donna's mispronunciation, the Sontarans, was actually the original pronouncing in The Time Warrior, the first episode Sontarans appeared. But Kevin Lindsay, who played Lynx, pronounced it as Sontarans, just like we all do. And he won the argument between him and Alan Bromley, the director, and he says, "I'm from the bloody planet, I think I know how to pronounce my own name." I also love the bit where the Doctor mentions the Brigadier, it's nice.
Times like this I could do with the Brigadier. No offence.
None taken. Sir Alistair's a fine man, if not the best. Unfortunately, he's stranded in Peru.
I also find it funny when he was wearing a gas mask saying, "Are you my mummy?" remembering the empty child.
Latest firing stock. What do you think, Doctor? Are you my mummy? If you could concentrate.
So after Ross Jenkins gets killed by the Sontarans, the Doctor phones Donna because he needs her to open the teleport from their ship to the factory on Earth. So the Valiant arrived as it's strong enough to clear the area around the factory and using a laser beam to strike at the factory, killing many Sontarans. So yeah, the unit soldiers manages to take on Sontarans. Colonel Mace killed Commander Score. The Doctor and the clone Martha went to the lab and sees the real Martha. So the clone Martha pointed a gun at the Doctor, but he already knew all along. So the Doctor takes the device off Martha and her clone collapses as she's dying.
Oh my God! That's me!
The Doctor realises the clone feeds, they're converting the atmosphere, changing the planet into a clone world because the Sontarans are clones. So after the clone Martha dies, Martha gets her engagement ring back and the Doctor teleported Donna to the factory as she almost got shot by a Sontaran, steals his TARDIS back, so they teleported to the Ratigan Academy. So Luke points a gun at them, telling him not to tell anyone what he did, but the Doctor took it out of his hand and threw it away. So while Sylvia's crying and cuddling into Wilf, the Doctor builds an atmospheric converter to ignite the atmosphere to clear out the poison gas. And I love the music they play when the Doctor pressed the button. I also love the unit theme.
Keep your safeties on land, there's no hostiles!
We just love Murray Gold. We don't know what the show would be like without him. So after a nice clear blue sky, everyone cheered. Captain Marion Price kissed Colonel Mace, but then realising they should look professional. So the Doctor tells Martha and Donna to have a good life and tell Luke to do something clever with his life. So he transports himself to the Sontaran ship with the atmospheric converter, giving Stahl and the Sontarans a chance to leave or die. But they didn't care as they seem, and going Sonta ha. So Luke switched places from him to the Doctor, so Luke pressed it. As a result, he destroyed the Sontaran ship, so all of them are dead. Well, except one of them survived, which is Commander Carr, who we'll see in the Sarah Jane Adventures The Last Sontaran. So Donna says goodbye to Wilfred. When the Doctor and Donna was about to say goodbye to Martha, the TARDIS door closes and it's moving itself. His hand in the jar was bobbling.
Doctor, just listen to me. You take me home right now!
So, that's the Poison Sky. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Doctor Who, The Doctor's Daughter, the 6th episode of Series 4, is written by Stephen Greenhorn and starring David Tennant, Catherine Tate and Freema Agyeman. So yeah, Georgia Tennant, the real-life daughter of Peter Davison, who played the 5th Doctor, and Sandra Dickinson, who's known to be in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. David Tennant described this episode as we get to see the Doctor's daughter played by the Doctor's daughter. Apparently the role Jenny wasn't because of her father, it was just coincidental. But I think it's great either way. Peter Davison said to Georgia after he filmed Time Crash, it's her turn, and yes, David Tennant and Georgia Moffat met during filming of this episode and started dating sometime after the episode filmed, and on 30th of December 2011 they're married, which is cool. So they arrived on the planet Messaline, so the guards pointed guns at them because they noticed their hands are clean, so he took the Doctor to put his hand into the machine to get processed. The machine is taking a sample of his tissue and is using it in the cabinet device attached to it. So the door opens and Jenny walks out. The machine got given a gun and we have "Hello Dad" moment.
Well, she's my daughter.
Hello, Dad.
So the group of fish-looking people called the Hath came to shoot each other. After Martha gets taken by a Hath, Jenny sets the explosive to seal the tunnel. Jenny called Martha a collateral damage and saying the Doctor is lucky to still have Donna, and Klein had lost his men. But of course Donna stepped in and was like, Martha isn't collateral damage, so they decide to look for Martha, but Klein stops them as he's confused that there's no Mark or a will to fight. So he takes them into the camp to see General Cobb, played by Nigel Terry, and I think he's great. So he explains that long ago the buildings were built into the ground as the environment is too hazardous, and also Hath and humans decide to build a new society together. But the dream dies. The Hath wanted Messaline for themselves, forcing the first colonists to use the machines to produce soldiers, and began the war. So apparently it's for the source that's lost in the maze of tunnels, and I looked at the map. Because the Doctor wanted to stop the war, Cobb decided to get the Doctor, Donna and Jenny locked up in the cell. Meanwhile, Martha helped a Hath relocated its shoulder. I really loved the Haths. I think they're pretty cool. I like how they communicate with the bubbles. I used to do that when I was 9. Also, the Doctor accidentally gave the map to the Hath as well, which would make a blood path. I enjoyed the banter when Jenny talks to the Doctor that he's like a soldier. So the Doctor realises about the map thing and tells Jenny about the Time War and everything.
And it's gone now, all of it. Gone forever.
I think it's a great trick when she flirts with Klein, then kissed him while taking a gun out of his pocket. So afterwards the Doctor has a clockwork mouse to distract the guard, but then Jenny knocks him out. And the Doctor wasn't happy about it. So while Martha and the Hath is on the planet's surface, Cobb finds Klein tied up and set him free. I like the way he's like, no one's gonna get in my way, and certainly not this Doctor. For me, sounds like a supervillain planning to destroy a superhero. Donna tells Jenny what the Doctor does, and they found lasers crisscrossing the passage. Sadly, the clockwork mouse couldn't get through, so Jenny is about to stop Cobb. The Doctor advises her not to kill, because it affects her forever, But she left, so the Doctor turns the laser off. Jenny stops shooting and shot the pipe so the smoke gets in Cobb's way. The laser came back, so Jenny says, "Watch and learn, father," as she threw her gun away and does the somersault her way through the laser beams, which I have to say, that is pretty badass. Even the Doctor's impressed.
No way.
She mentions that she had a chance to kill General Cobb, but she didn't, which is great. Meanwhile, at the surface, Martha fell down the cliff into the quicksand. Unfortunately, the half couldn't reach her hand, so it jumped in and got Martha out. But it's a sad scene when the half is sinking down and Martha pretty upset. So throughout this episode we see numbers on the wall which turns out to be dates for each section, which means the war started a week ago. So after Martha reunites with the Doctor, Donna and Jenny, they found a glowing globe, and surrounded by humans and Hath armies, the Doctor made a speech where the war is over and smashed it onto the floor with beautiful yellow effects. Both armies put down their weapons and the Doctor reveals the new world will be born. But unfortunately General Cobb was about to shoot the Doctor, but Jenny got in the way. This is another sad scene when Jenny dies in the Doctor's arms. And we get intense moments where the Doctor points a gun at Cobb's head.
I never would.
But he didn't, as I'm guessing he's going to be locked up for quite some time. So the Doctor asked that both armies let the idea of a man who never would be the foundation of the half-human society that must now emerge. Sadly, the Doctor had to leave Jenny. The Doctor mentioned that Jenny was the reason the TARDIS brought them to Messaline. It's the endless paradox. So he took Martha home and saying goodbye to her. I think it's nice to have one episode where they take Martha with them in Series 4.
Bye, Doctor.
Goodbye, Dr. Jones.
So Jenny came back to life. I was like, yes! I'm so happy that they really didn't kill her off and they decided to allow her to live. Plus that was Stephen Moffat's idea to bring Jenny back to life, as they're originally going to kill her off in a place called a generic spaceship room. But Phil Collinson suggested filming the scene in Plantasia Botanical Garden in Swansea. So Klein asked Jenny why is she using one of the escape shuttles, and her plans are lots of stuff to see, planets to save, civilizations to rescue, monsters to defeat, and an awful lot of running to do. Great speech.
Planets to save, civilizations to rescue, creatures to defeat, and an awful lot of running to do.
I would love Jenny to come back. I mean on screen, not big finish. As of time of recording, the Doctor still think Jenny is dead. It would be great if the Doctor sees her again and finds out that she's actually alive. So, that's the Doctor's Daughter, another great episode. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Doctor Who, The Unicorn and the Wasp, the 7th episode of Series 4, is written by Gareth Roberts and it's starring David Tennant and Catherine Tate. So after Russell T Davies reviewed the script for the Shakespeare Code, Gareth received an email from the production team which said Agatha Christie, murder mystery with Agatha Christie idea originally came from the producer Phil Collinson. Gareth has been a fan of Agatha's work and based the episode on Crooked House, focusing on aristocratic society and Evil Under the Sun movie that came out in 1982. That's based on the book. And Gareth wanted to make this episode into a comedy, so the episode begins with the Doctor and Donna arrived in the grounds at 1926, as the Doctor can tell because he can smell grass, lemonade and a bit of mint, which is what Donna was wondering, or the vintage car. So Professor Peach say hi to everybody, then goes to the library to do some research. Someone walked in and he's like, "What are you doing? That's impossible," and changed into Giant Wasp and swings a pipe at Professor Peach's head.
I say, what are you doing with that lead piping? That's impossible.
Meanwhile, the Doctor impatiently bangs on the TARDIS door that they're going to be late for cocktail, as Donna's taking quite some time to change, so she came out wearing a dress. So they invited themselves to the party, having a drink and meeting Lady Edison. I think Felicity Kendall is great. The Doctor and Donna gets to meet Agatha Christie, which is a great moment. I think Fenella Wilgar is really good. The casting is suggested by David Tennant, who works with her in Bright Young Things movie and You Knew You Was Right series.
Agatha Christie.
What about her?
That's me. No.
Worth mentioning, the non-speaking footman in the background is Sandy MacDonald, the father of David Tennant, which is so cool. He was happy that he didn't have to learn any lines.
I was coming down to visit David, and I think they must have been short of someone, but they very kindly invited me to play the part of a footman.
Sidecar, please.
And a lime and soda, thank you. Which has been interesting, and I didn't have to learn any lines. So that was good news.
Meanwhile, Mrs. Chandrakala finds a corpse in the office, so she ran and shouted murder, so the Doctor and Donna investigated, followed by everyone else. They notice a broken watch and it was 4:15 when he got murdered. So he tells everyone that he's the police and Donna is a plucky young girl who helps out, which Donna isn't happy with. So he tells everyone to wait in the sitting room. The Doctor finds a morphic residue and found out it's an alien. I love how Donna points out the gag with Charles Dickens meeting ghosts on Christmas and thinking Enid Blyton having tea with Noddy, and the Doctor's like, there's no Noddy. So he asks everyone what they've been doing 4:15. Arnold Golightly was unpacking in his room. Roger is walking in the field who claims to be alone but he met another guy. Rabina was at the toilet and kept a tiny revolver in her handbag. Colonel Hugh was reading Love the Can-Can Dancers. At least the Doctor snapped him out of it. Lady Edison claiming to sit around and having tea. Later the Doctor talks about his fondness for the character of Poirot, which then causes him to remember being Belgium once to rescue Charles Magny from an insane computer. And we got to love the Doctor's face after when Agatha tells him he's a crafty man. So the Doctor looks at ripped paper that Agatha is carrying which said Aiden, and then we realised it said Maiden. It's funny when the Doctor shouted Maiden and made Agatha jumped. So meanwhile, Donna went inside a bedroom after Lady Edison has locked it for 40 years using magnifying glass, and she hears a buzzing sound and said bees are still there in 1920s. So when she opened the curtains, it reveals a giant wasp called Vespiform. The scene where it broke in and chasing Donna around in the bedroom is intense. First watching it, I'm like, how is she going to get out of this? But yeah, she closed the door and the sting jabbed through the door. We have a funny moment when Agatha is like, it's only a silly little insect, but Donna is like,
when I say giant, I don't mean big, I mean flipping enormous!
How can you not like Donna? She's great. After the Doctor opens the door, the wasp buzzed off and collects some sample where I thought it was honey. Vespiform were an ancient and wise insectoid species, physically described as giant wasps. They had hives in the Salfrax galaxy. They were a henge species of the Quarks before they turned on them. I think Vespiforms are pretty cool. The Doctor reveals that Vespiform can regrow its sting. Miss Chandrakala finds out what Professor Peach had discovered in the library just before he was murdered, so she ran outside but something knocked stone gargoyle on her and she was found dead with her last words, poor child. So while they chase after Vespiform, it hid somewhere in the hallway. It's funny when the Doctor shouted, show yourself as all suspects appears looking confused. So after Agatha sits in the garden, Donna sits with her to give her back her confidence. Agatha's husband was with another woman, and Donna mentioned her one is with a giant spider, Empress of the Arachnos. So after everyone got given a wine, the Doctor drinks it and turns out to be poisonous, so he rushes to the kitchen and asks for a ginger beer. We get a funny bit where he's like, how is Harvey Wallbanger one word? So Donna eventually kissed him and the poison is cured. So after that, during dinner, we have a scary thunder and windows open and lights turned off and the Vespiform. Just after it's gone, we see necklace taking from Lady Edison and Roger got stabbed in the back with his face down to the soup. Not gonna lie, that scene is bloody scary. So further investigation where the Doctor points out to everyone, Lady Edison is alone on night in Delhi. When she was a child, she saw a purple shooting star land nearby and met Christopher, with whom she quickly fell in love with and had an affair, and he's a Vespiform. Colonel Hugh revealed he can walk, as he's pretended that he couldn't walk because he was worried that his wife, Lady Edison, was leave him for another bloke. We also find out that Robina is a thief. She stole Firestone and the jewels, but she hasn't killed anyone. But it turns out it's Arnold Golightly. He mentions that he works as a vicar in a church and the thieves stole the items, so he got angry, turned into giant wasp and killed them.
My child!
What's to stop me killing you all?
We get a scene where Vesper form chasing Agatha in a car at night and the Doctor and Donna followed them. It's an intense scene. So they stop at the silent pool lake. Donna grabs the necklace and throws it in the water, so the Vesper form dived in and drowned. And because Agatha's connection with the necklace, she fell unconscious and suffers from an amnesia. So the Doctor drops her back to the Harrogate Hotel. In the TARDIS, the Doctor looks at the chest he kept. C is for Carrionites, C is for Cybermen, and found the copy of Death in the Clouds, in which Wasps play a vital part, stating that Christie did remember after all. There's a deleted scene where the Doctor and Donna visits old Agatha Christie in 1976, letting her know about the legacy her books have. So, that's Unicorn and the Wasp. It's an interesting episode. What do you guys think of this episode? Let me know in the comments down below. Doctor Who, silence. Hey, who turned out the lights? That's better. Doctor Who, Silence in the Library, the 8th episode of Series 4, is written by Stephen Moffat and starring David Tennant and Catherine Tate. So yeah, originally Stephen Moffat has been wanting to introduce Weeping Angels, and he originally planned that in two-parter story, but it was taken over by Helen Rayner, who did Daleks in Manhattan and Evolution of the Daleks. So he decided to do the Dr. Light story with the Weeping Angels. So during Series 4, Stephen Moffat had a look with his previous ideas and felt that library would be a great setting for Doctor Who not to tick. The story introduced an archaeologist called Professor Riversong, played by Alex Kingston, and I think she's great as Riversong. What can I say that hasn't been said already? They were originally going to cast Kate Winslet as River, which, funny enough, her first acting role was Dark Season, written by Russell T Davies. But the role went to Alex Kingston instead, as before Doctor Who she was known to be in the ER series.
Elizabeth Corday, visiting surgical lecturer and your saviour.
Excuse me?
Well, I hear you've been on court forever. You're free to go.
Alex has been a fan of Doctor Who since she was a child, which is great, and really enjoyed playing an unusual action hero. Stephen originally planned to have the Doctor to know one of the archaeologists. Later, he decided that this idea was too dull, so he changed it so that one of them know the Doctor. Moffat was planned to return River, which he did in his era. So the story begins with a little girl at home with her psychologist, Dr. Moon. Every time she closes her eyes, she can see the biggest library in the universe, in 51st century, all peaceful and no one there. She can move by wishing, but then she gets affrighted by a banging on the door and there's the Doctor and Donna bursting in. But we'll get to that later, because after the title sequence, the Doctor and Donna arrived in the library planet, simply called the Library, full of every book's written, and they find a statue with a realistic face. I thought that was pretty creepy.
Message follows. Run. For God's sake, run. Nowhere is safe. The library has sealed itself.
So the statue warns the Doctor and Donna about the shadows and tell them to count it. So they went to library hallway, and we get a scary power cut scene, and we find out the sonic screwdriver doesn't do wood. Donna kicks the door open and barricades it with a book, and turns out that girl in the library is a security camera. I think Eve Newton is fantastic in this. There's great acting. So a statue tells the Doctor and Donna that others are coming, and there are 6 astronauts. River Song, Stratman Lux, Anita, Miss Evangelista, Proper Dave and Other Dave. We get the famous Rivers line.
Hello, sweetie.
Get out.
I love the Doctor's line when he says, I point and laugh at archaeologists. We also find out there's 4,022 saved, no survivors. Not much saved then. I wonder what it could be. I like how they throw the chicken into the shadow and turns into a bone.
The piranhas of the air.
And we also get another 10th Doctor liking a little shop moment.
The little shop, they always make you go to the little shop on the way out so they can sell you stuff.
Right, brilliant. That's why I like the little shop.
We also find out about the monster called Vashta Narada, microscopic carnivores creatures which use shadows to hunt and latch onto their prey. It's pretty grim. I also love that bit of soundtrack. It does sound a bit like the 11th Doctor Matt Smith's theme, also known as I Am the Doctor. You can tell Murray Gold is getting ready for the next era.
The library is real. There are people trapped in there. People who need to be saved. The shadows are moving again.
So River looks through her diary asking the Doctor have they done those certain events like Byzantium and picnic at Asgard, not Thor's planet Asgard. But River sees the Doctor's eyes as we know the Doctor has never met River before.
Doctor, please tell me you know who I am.
Who are you?
So they got interrupted by a phone ringing sound, so the girl speaks to the Doctor on TV like a Skype for a short time, but then it went off. So she's using a remote, pressing a few buttons, books fly out of their shelves and one of the secret door opens. I do feel sorry for Miss Evangelista as she's being mistreated by other archaeologists. And we have a nice moment that Donna is being nice to her.
They think I'm stupid because I'm pretty?
Of course they don't. Nobody thinks that.
So later, because no one is listening to her, she walks through a door that was opened by a little girl and decides to look around. But then gets killed by Vashta Narada, so everyone ran to where she was after hearing her scream, and the skeleton of her talking is terrifying.
Don't know. Ice cream.
So after she dies with the last words ice cream repeatedly, Dr. Moon tells the girl that the shadows is moving and she's the only one who could save everyone in the library. We have a scary moment where Proper Dave has got two shadows, so every archaeologist put their helmets on. The Doctor decided to teleport Donna back to the TARDIS, but something went wrong. Donna's signal was lost. I find that scary, the way she screamed as a hologram with a scary music. So the Doctor went back to Proper Dave, is eating away, and Data Ghost echoed his famous line, "Hey, who turned out the lights?" When it pinned the Doctor, I thought he was gonna die, but luckily he got out of those hands of the Vashta Narada. River has a sonic blaster. According to Stephen Moffat, that was the same sonic blaster that Captain Jack used in The Doctor Dances, and he said that was left in the TARDIS in the parting of the ways, and taken by River in the Doctor's future. So that's a great Easter egg. So the Doctor finds Donna's face on a statue. I get goosebumps with this cliffhanger, with two people repeating themselves, one saying Donna Noble has left the library, Donna Noble has been saved, and the other one saying, "Hey, who turned out the lights?"
Donna Noble has been saved.
Hey, who turned out the lights?
Donna Noble has left the library.
Man, what an episode. I really love this one. I think all actors are fantastic, well written, absolutely scary, and Murray Gold's soundtrack is outstanding. Well, that's Murray Gold. What do you guys think of Silence in the Library? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. Doctor Who Forest of the Dead, the 9th episode of Series 4, is written by Stephen Moffat and starring David Tennant and Catherine Tate. I think Steve Pemberton, who played Strachman Lux, is great. He's best known for the League of Gentlemen series, and he also appeared in the show called Blackpool along with David Tennant. So after River uses a sonic blaster at the wall to get the Doctor and the other 5 archaeologists out of there, and the girl watching it on TV, but Dad says library is in her imagination, we see Donna taken out of an ambulance and into the hospital, and she meets Dr. Moon messing up her memory, seeing a virtual reality as her real world.
What's wrong with me? I didn't know you for a moment.
And then you remembered.
I think Colin Salmon is great as Dr. Moon. He also played the guy in Resident Evil where he got sliced by the laser grid. Apparently Stephen Moffat said that he could be the 45th Doctor. I wonder if it's actually true, if he is. So Donna goes on a walk with Dr. Moon and we see a Cal sign, so she meets Lee McAvoy. After Donna went fishing with him, they got married, and apparently that's the same wedding dress that Catherine Tate was wearing in The Runaway Bride. So they have children called Josh and Ella, Apparently Stephen Moffat named them after his son and his son's friends, which is nice. Meanwhile, the Doctor, River and the others found a place to hide. River and the Doctor argues for a bit and Lux is like,
"Oh, for heaven's sake! Look at the pair of you. We're all gonna die right here, and you're just squabbling like an old married couple."
And yeah, River whispered the Doctor's real name in his ear. Anita has 2 shadows and she's staying brave. The Doctor darkens her visor in the hopes that it might trick the Vashta Nerada into thinking they have already infiltrated. The bit where the Doctor asks River if there's 5 people still alive while there's 6 and realised Proper Dave caught up with them, that was bloody scary.
Why are there 6?
Hey, who turned out the lights?
Obviously they ran off. The bit where the Doctor was talking to Vashta Nerada saying, "These are our forests," is creepy.
You asked from trees, from spores in trees.
These are our forests.
And when the other Dave got turned into Vashta Nerada saying we should go, Doctor, I really wasn't expecting that.
Hey, who turned out the lights? We should go, Doctor!
I thought it's pretty gangster when the Doctor opened the trapdoor where he was standing and hanging on, and the girl seems to be impressed. So the kids made a model of Donna and she's like, "Where's the face?" It's a nice thing to say about your children's work. So at bedtime, Donna gets a letter saying world is wrong and requested to meet at park. I do find that woman in a black dress wearing a veil really scary. So Donna meets that woman in the park, taking her kids there. We also find out that's the same Miss Evangelista from the library. That world is virtual reality and the children are fictions. This is bloody scary when there's so many Joshes and Ellas. Even scarier when Donna rips off the veil and, oh, that face. That's the most freakiest thing in the Doctor Who history. As it's a poor copy of her transcription errors destroyed her face. So after Ella falls off a swing, Donna takes her kids home and the sky went red. The scene where they're in bed and both kids vanish is terrifying and Catherine Tate's acting is fantastic. Because of what's happening, it causes girls to be angry and using her remote to disappear her dad and Dr. Moon. So the library is about to get destroyed. Like I said, Eve Newton's acting is fantastic. We also find out that Cal is that girl, which is mind-blowing, and it stands for Charlotte Abigail Lux, Strackman's granddad's youngest daughter, which makes it Lux's auntie.
Shadows. I have to save.
We learned that she was dying of incurable disease, so they built a library and put her living mind inside, with the moon to watch over her. She loves books so much, he asked only that she be left in peace, a secret, not a freak show. Afterwards, the Doctor realises that to restore the saved people, the library needs extra memory. After Anita became Vashta Nerada, the Doctor made a great speech, so River came back and knocks the Doctor out, handcuffed him so she can sacrifice herself and tell him not to change one moment of history between them two. I mean, this is really sad that River dies, but we obviously see her again in Series 5.
Time can be rewritten. Not those times. Not one line. Don't you dare.
The bright lights take Lee and Donna out of that virtual reality world. Turns out all the 4,022 people saved are in the library and Lux is absolutely a happy man. So Donna reunites with the Doctor and also tries to find Lee, but she says there wasn't Lee McAvoy, so he might have got a different name. Originally in the script, Lee would have been a female in the real world, depending on interpretation. But they've changed it, and they were also going to bring him back in the end of time, back as Donna's fiancé, but they dropped it because it wouldn't have made sense with the timeline. So the Doctor puts River's sonic screwdriver and her diary on the balcony, so they walked off. But then the Doctor quickly ran back as he realised he saved her. We get an awesome scene as the Doctor running through the library and into the gravity well with his Series 4 theme. Well done, Marigold. Have a gold star. So River appears in virtual reality world created by Charlotte and reunites with her team that has died.
He just can't give in.
It's a nice ending. The Doctor snaps his fingers to open the TARDIS door and River says sweet dreams to Donna's kids and Charlotte as they're sleeping. So that's Forest of the Dead. That's a scary episode with a nice ending. What do you guys think of this episode? Let me know in the comments down below. Next episode to talk about, Midnight. Doctor Who Midnight, the 10th episode of Series 4, is written by Russell T Davies and starring David Tennant and Catherine Tate. So yeah, Donna only has small scenes, like the beginning and at the end, because Catherine Tate was busy filming Turn Left, which is Dr. Light episode. This is also the 50th episode filmed for New Who series. Russell T Davies took the inspiration of Star Trek The Next Generation in the episode Darmok. So this episode is just mostly set in one location with 8 characters, including the Doctor. We have the hostess who works in the Cruiser 50, a shuttle bus with the interior that looks like inside an aeroplane, which is cool. I love the set and the effects on the Diamond World. Hostess serves the humans in the bus, and yeah, she was the first one who suggests that possessed Skye should get thrown out. I think Reiki Iola does an excellent job.
We can get her to the hospital.
We should throw her out.
I beg your pardon?
Skye Silvestri, played by Leslie Sharp, I think she's fantastic as well. She looked terrifying when she got possessed and copying what other people are saying. Skye is a businesswoman and visiting Midnight after her wife separated. We have David Troughton, the son of Patrick Troughton, the second Doctor in this episode. David played an extra in Enemy of the World, Private Moore in The War Games, King Peladon in The Curse of Peladon, and in this one he plays Professor Hobbs, a scientist who wasn't nice to his assistant Dee Dee. She was a second-year student who wrote a paper on the lost moon of Poosh. I think David Troughton and Aisha Antoine are great as well. We also have Biff and Val Kane. Daniel Ryan, who played Biff, said in an interview back in 2006, was planning to ask Russell T Davies to appear in Doctor Who, so his kids see him acting on television in a program that was not inaccessible. Apparently Daniel Ryan was in Bob and Rose series, and so was Leslie Sharp, and Russell T Davies wrote an episode of Linda Green where Daniel Ryan was in. Val, who's married to Biff, and the family went on the tour bus on the planet Midnight. She and Biff tells the Doctor their funny experience on their holiday, and she's played by Lindsay Coulson.
And I said, "Where's the pool?" And he said, "The pool is abstract."
Biff and Val have a son called Jeffro, who's a teenager who laughs about the bus breaking down, played by the actor who's known to be in the series called Merlin, Colin Morgan.
I need to know more.
None of us can choose our destiny, Merlin. And none of us can escape it.
I think those 3 actors are great as well. So after the Doctor phones Donna as she's wanting to stay in the Leisure Palace sunbathing, the Doctor goes in the bus for a tour. The hostess, after she gave everyone the stuff like orange juice and slippers, she tells everyone about the tour and the rules, and puts anything on that annoys the passengers, like Raf Isla, Kara, do it again. Every time I'd see that clip, it reminds me of Doctor Who Midnight.
Do it again. Do it again with love. Do it again.
And also the projection of Betty Boop. Skye seemed unhappy as she's reading a book, so the Doctor used his sonic screwdriver to turn them off. And a lot of passengers are happy, so instead he suggests everyone talking to each other as they have a conversation for quite some time, like Funny Holidays, Lost Moon of Poosh, Skye's wife, Chicken and Beef, and Professor Hobbs doing the slideshow of Midnight. After the bus stopped, the Doctor goes into the cockpit and sees Driver Joe and Claude, the mechanic. The engine is fine. Turns out there is nothing wrong. The bit where they're looking outside and Claude noticing something is really intense.
Shields down.
Look, there he is, look there, what?
I kept rewinding and play the scene so I can see what that Midnight entity looks like, but still can't see it, which really bothers me. Dee Dee tells everyone that they can stay breathing for 10 years. Just after the Doctor says everything's fine, we get a scary knocking sound.
What the hell is making that noise?
I'm sorry, but the light out there is X-tonic.
And it went after Skye as she's the most scared woman out of all people in the bus. So after the bus violently shook, the walls are still intact. This is really scary stuff. Joe and Claude are gone. The way Skye faces the Doctor is terrifying, and her copying him and the others is actually funny but scary at the same time.
My name's the Doctor.
My name's the Doctor.
Okay, can you stop?
Okay, can you stop?
All right, now stop it. This isn't
All right,
funny.
now stop it. This isn't funny.
Shh.
All of you,
My name's Jethro.
My name's Jethro. Jethro, leave it.
I love the bit where the Doctor says what the square root of pi is, and Sky managed to repeat every number as the Doctor said without failing. The square root of pi is 1.772453850905160272951674833341. Wow. So after everyone talking over each other with Sky repeating what they're saying, the lights came back on and all of a sudden she can repeat what everyone is saying at the same time without a delay. That's bloody terrifying. Brilliant.
Biff, what's she doing?
She's repeating. At exactly the same time. That's impossible. It's not even a delay.
So everyone gets to the back and keep away from Sky because the next stage could be becoming them. And man, these people are horrible. When they're saying throwing her out, and I'd be siding with the Doctor because at least he knows what he's doing, and everyone accusing the Doctor for supporting the entity that possessed Sky.
Could you actually take hold of someone and throw them out of that door?
Calling me a coward?
Who put you in charge anyway?
I'm sorry, but you're a doctor of what exactly?
So after the arguing, Sky stops repeating, although the only person she's copying is the Doctor. So he went to Sky, offering Entity to help with finding a voice of its own without stealing anyone else's. But then Sky speaks before the Doctor did.
What do you think? Do we have a deal?
So yeah, now the Doctor is copying Sky. I'm surprised no one but Dee Dee and the hostess seems to think that Sky is being odd though. She doesn't seem scared, she seemed emotionless and just likes to keep talking, allowing the Doctor repeating what she's saying. But it's actually the next step, stealing the voice of another people, as the Doctor had predicted.
Blood. With blood. And pain.
Oh my God, make him stop! Someone make him stop!
But she's saying it!
But no other passengers believes Dee Dee. It is intense when Viv tries to throw the Doctor out. So while his attempted murder, hostess grabbed Sky and opened the door and pulled out of the bus, which released the Doctor. Val lies, saying that it was Sky, but obviously the Doctor didn't believe her.
I said it was her.
They could at least say sorry to him for being douchebags. Jeez. So after 20 minutes later, everyone is sitting quietly waiting for the rescue bus. Sadly, no one knew the hostess' name. So back at the Leisure Palace, the Doctor reunites with Donna, discussing what happened when the Doctor said molto bene, and Donna repeated him and understandably told her not to, as it's still haunting him.
Molto bene.
Molto bene.
No, don't do that.
Man, this episode is so scary and funny at the same time. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. The actors are fantastic, this episode is well written, and obviously Murray Gold's music is nicely done. What do you guys think of Midnight? Let me know in the comments down below. Doctor Who Turn Left 11th episode of Series 4 is written by Russell T Davies and starring David Tennant, Catherine Tate and Billie Piper. So yeah, this is the Doctor's light story focusing on Donna because David Tennant was busy filming Midnight while Catherine Tate is filming Turn Left. Russell T Davies compared the concept episode Life Without the Doctor to the Sliding Doors film. This answers the question, did the Doctor cause deaths or save lives? The return of Rose Tyler has been planned since Series 2 was filming. Piper promised to return for several episodes, which is nice. I'm happy that she came back as she's my favourite companion. So the episode begins in the planet Shan Shen. Shame it's a fictional, as I'd love to visit that place. Doctor and Donna trying a foaming drink. So a fortune teller invites Donna into a tent, and yeah, that's Chip Ho-chung, who plays Chantho in Utopia, and I think she's a great actress. So fortune teller said that she saw the most remarkable man, the Doctor. She asks how Donna met him. Donna explained that she got teleported in the TARDIS on her wedding day. How it happened is that she works at H.C. Clements as a temp, and of course Lance got the human particles in the coffee, so she can get teleported. But her mum Sylvia suggests little photocopy business run by someone she knows, Jivel Chowdhury. So Fortune asks Donna what if she turned right and worked with Chowdhury, and a time beetle climbed onto Donna's back.
What's on my back?
Make the choice again, Donna Noble, and change your mind. Turn right.
the Trickster's Brigade. Apparently that design was inspired by the giant spider on Sarah Jane Smith's back from Planet of the Spiders, which is cool. The Beetles' normal Earth-like appearance was deliberate. Prosthetic designer Neil Gorton thought that familiarity would ease the narrative and cites the Cat Nuns from New Earth and the Jadoon from Smith & Jones as examples. Funny thing is, the Trickster is a recurring villain in the Sarah Jane Adventures, and during his first episode, Whatever Happened to Sarah Jane, he was planning to wipe the Doctor out of the existence.
Imagine if the Doctor had never existed, what chaos there would be across the stars.
And well, we get this.
The Doctor is dead.
So in the alternative universe, Donna's parallel Earth, whatever you'd like to call it, Donna turns right as she agrees to work with Mr. Chowdhury. Then she wouldn't have met the Doctor. So during Christmas, Donna has a drink with her mates. The bloke discovers a Christmas star which turns out to be Empress of the Arachnos' web star. After electrocuted the street and army tank blow it up, Private Grey talks on his radio and the Doctor has sadly died, as he was drowned in the flood killing Arachnos' children. Rose appeared and pretty upset that the Doctor is gone, so later on Mr. Chowdhury sacks Donna. We see a thunderstorm above the hospital, then hospital disappeared. Sound familiar? Because of the Doctor's absence, there's been some changes, because after the hospital came back there was only one survivor, Oliver Morgenstern. Mentions the rhinos, Jadoon obviously. Martha Jones gave him her last oxygen and died. And Sarah Jane Smith was there, who stopped the MRI and sadly died, along with Luke Smith, Clyde Langer and Maria Jackson. Man, Alan and Chrissy must be devastated, and Clyde's mum. Donna meets Rose again. She asks why is she looking at her back, as throughout this episode everyone keeps looking at Donna's back. Rose also advised Donna to get out of London for Christmas as she's won the raffle. Yeah, there wouldn't be a Saxon event because the Master would still be in 100 trillion, the end of the universe. Next Christmas time, Donna, Sylvia and Wilfred arrived in Fireborn House Hotel. On Christmas Day, as the maid walks in giving them breakfast and Donna in the bathroom planning what to do on Christmas, Sylvia asks Donna to look at the news, and it was the replica of the Titanic falling down to Earth. As it was about to hit Buckingham Palace, the TV went static. So everyone looked and they're horrified as a mushroom cloud rises above London because London is destroyed. Max Capricorn's plan has succeeded.
I was supposed to be out there selling papers. I should have been there. We all should. We'd be dead.
I found it really scary when Donna turns her head around and the maid pointing a finger at her with an angry stare. I love to know what she's thinking. So Donna and her family had to move to Leeds with London destroyed and England flooded with radiation, and living in a house with a guy called Rocco Colasanto and his family. The noble family lives in a kitchen. I find it a bit funny when Sylvia asks what about the bathroom.
What about the bathroom?
Nobody lives in the bathroom.
No, I mean, is there a rota?
Imagine living in the bathroom. Sleep on the bathtub or next to the toilet. Yeah, why not? Originally America were going to help Britain with monetary relief, but the plan was dropped because 60 million Americans are killed as they became adipose.
U.S. City. The fat is flying.
Aliens.
So later on, Sylvia has a conversation with Donna that everyone they knew has died and they think they don't exist. But then we get the funny moment where people singing sea shanty with the I spent all my money on whiskey and beer, and Donna ranting at them, but it reveals Wilfred is holding a beer and said he'd love to sing a song.
Easy come, easy come.
So we cut to everybody singing Bohemian Rhapsody until the sound of gunshot, so Rocco takes a look as they discovered soldiers shooting at their vehicles because of the atmos. So after Donna went outside, the soldier points his gun at Donna and ordered her to turn around and show her back.
Show me your back! Turn around now! Show me your back!
But then he said sorry as he thought he saw something. And obviously Wilfred rants at that soldier, saying in his day he would be court-martialed for it. So Donna sees a bright light and meets up with Rose again, and we find out that Torchwood team Ianto Jones and Gwen Cooper has built atmospheric converter and sacrificed themselves to get rid of Atmos. And Captain Jack can't die, so he gets transported to Sontaran's planet, Sonta. Rose won't tell Donna her name, but she warns about the darkness and that she's gonna die.
You're gonna die.
So then 3 weeks later, Rocco and his family gets evicted, and Rocco says goodbye to Donna and Wilfred because the emergency law has changed, as England is now only for English people, so non-British gets taken to a place that they're called labour camp, but it's actually internment camps. Because the ocean is closed off, man, this is really sad to watch. I can feel my tear going down watching this. So after Donna tells Sylvia that soldiers told Donna that she wasn't qualified, she sits with Wilf in the garden, and we get the scary bit where the stars are going out. So Rose takes Donna to unit base and met Captain Arisa Magambo, played by Noma Dumezweni. I think she's great. So Donna takes a look around in the TARDIS, realising it's bigger on the inside. So she steps into a circle of mirrors, lights turn on, and she sees a time beetle on her back. Catherine Tate's acting is absolutely stellar. So Captain Magambo, helped by Rose, sends Donna to time travel to remove the time beetle off her, and landed 6 months before the events of Rachnos. So she ran as fast as she can while her past self and Sylvia in the car talking about choices of jobs. So Donna gets herself knocked over, causing a traffic jam. Rose whispered something in her ear, so Donna past self refused to wait long in the traffic jam, so she turns left to work in H.C. Clements. As a result, that prevents the Doctor's death and world going into disasters. In the original universe, the time beetle dies and fell off her back, so a fortune teller seemed scared and ran off. Just before the Doctor came in, and he examines the time beetle, and he noticed about Donna's world and how he met Donna and Wilfred twice. Donna tries to tell the Doctor about Rose, but sadly she doesn't know her name, but whispered 2 words which it reveals Bad Wolf. I think this is pretty scary where every word says Bad Wolf, even the TARDIS. So inside the TARDIS is red with cloister bell ringing. When Donna asks what's going on, then the Doctor said it's the end of the universe. Oh boy.
It's the end of the universe.
Russell T Davies says that the episode's climax, Rose's warnings, the words of Bad Wolf. The words cause or no inherent harm Bad Wolf acts as a warning sign for the Doctor and Rose's innovation of the phrase signals that the parallel universes Rose and the Doctor inhabit are collapsing into each other. Davis also wouldn't say this episode is part of the series finale. It was described by a Doctor Who magazine as partly acting as a prelude to the 2-part series climax. Very interesting. So, that's Turn Left, and I love it. It's a great way to show what happens if the Doctor wasn't around, and the events where aliens came to Earth and messed it up. And we obviously love Catherine Tate as Donna Noble. It does have scary and sad moments. What do you guys think of Turn Left? Let me know in the comments down below. Doctor Who The Stolen Earth, the 12th episode of Series 4, is written by Russell T Davies and starring David Tennant, Catherine Tate, Freema Agyeman, John Barrowman, Elizabeth Sladen and Billy Piper. This episode is also starring Penelope Wilton, Adjoa Ando, Eve Miles, Gareth David Lloyd, Tommy Knight and Alexander Armstrong. This is like the Infinity War of Doctor Who. So a 2-parter story with a story arc revealing and crossovers throwing in there, such as Beast disappearing, Shadow Proclamation and the Medusa Cascade. This is the first episode that Doctor Who has crossed over with 2 spin-offs, The Sarah Jane Adventures and Torchwood, which I love. Russell T Davies compared that with his childhood imagination of Doctor Who and Star Wars crossover. A lot of this has been planned since early 2006 with the reality bomb and many guest stars appearing. Originally Donna and Midshipman Frame were going to have cameos in this, but Catherine Tate agreed to be the companion for Series 4. And as for Alonso, he would have been part of the Shadow Proclamation, which would have been cool, but Russell Tovey was unavailable. We get Davros first appearing in the modern era, as he last appeared in Remembrance of the Daleks.
Have pity on me!
I have pity for you.
15!
Bye, Davros. It hasn't been pleasant.
I remembered I used to have those Doctor Who cards, no idea what happened to them, but my stepdad pointed that he's going to return, which got me excited. When I first saw him on screen, I thought he looks different, which is because it's an updated version, and The one I had on the card was the 80s version with Terry Malloy as Davros, and in the New Who we have Julian Bleach playing Davros. They were planning to bring Davros back in several occasions, like the Parting of the Ways. If Emperor Dalek was too expensive, then Davros would have been there. Julian Bleach's favourite episode is Genesis of the Daleks, and he used the inspiration of Michael Wisher, the original Davros. I think Julian is great as Davros. As for the Daleks, Russell brought them there as Daleks as part of the crossover was intended to create a charged atmosphere for the protagonists. Jack was killed by the Daleks, Rose and Martha were there at two of their apparent extinctions, and Sarah Jane was there at their creation. The mutant had to be recreated because the one they used in Series 1 sadly got damaged by water when the latter was filmed. And we have the Supreme Dalek coloured red, taking the inspiration from Peter Cushion's Dalek films.
Join the other prisoners! Continue your patrol!
And I think Nicholas Brake's voicing the Daleks are outstanding. So after the Doctor and Donna sees the Earth absolutely fine, they went back into the TARDIS. The milkman noticed the shake. The Doctor is happy that Rose is coming back, but there is a massive shake for a second. So the Doctor finds out that the TARDIS is still in the same place, but the Earth has moved somewhere.
Can't have. No. TARDIS is still in the same place, but the Earth is gone.
Donna was unsure if her family are dead, so the Doctor moves his TARDIS to get to the Shadow Proclamation. Meanwhile, on Earth, Martha is in New York with Unit, and Sandra asks to look at the sky. Jack, Gwen and Yanto are in the Torchwood hub. Jack thinks it could be the Rift, so he ran outside to have a look. Gwen and Yanto realises it's a bit bigger than South Wales.
Little bit bigger than South Wales.
Luke and Sarah Jane in the attic, and there's Mr. Smith telling them to look outside.
You should stop giving that fanfare. You just tell me what happened.
Sarah Jane, I think you should look outside.
Sylvia and Wilfred looks outside as well, and I love Wilfred's line when he says,
"What do you want this time, you green swine?"
Dad.
So everyone looks at the sky, and Rose appears in front of the same milkman that the Doctor asked what day it is, and it turns out the sky has gone dark, 25 planets showing in the sky, and everyone finds out that there's spaceships coming towards the Earth. Gwen phones Reese to tell her mum to take some pills and go to sleep, and Luke has phoned his mates. Maria is with her dad in Cornwall, which I've been there once when I was a baby, and Clyde is at home with his mum. I love the bit where Rose is walking in the street where we see a couple of drunk men, and she's scared of two laptop thieves.
Right, you two, you can put that stuff down or run for your lives. Do you like my gun?
So after Martha phones Jack asking if they found the Doctor and talking about Project Indigo, we get a scary moment with the Dalek sending exterminate message on screen.
Exterminate! Exterminate! Exterminate!
Ooh, I get goosebumps. Sarah Jane's reaction, you can tell she has met the Daleks before back in the 70s, and she's horrified on what could happen to her son Luke. Obviously Jack, Rose and Martha have met them before as well. We have Supreme Daleks saying the Crucible is almost completed, and the Daleks saying that they're the masters of Earth. Meanwhile, the Doctor and Donna arrive to the Shadow Proclamation. It's great to see the Jadoon again.
Scopo, tro, no, flo, jo, ko, fo, to, do. No, bo, ho, sho, ko, ro, to, so.
So the Doctor looks at the scanner and notices 24 planets have recently been taken away, like Clom and Woman Wept. I wonder if Raxacorico Albatorius have been taken as well. Plus I realise about the other 3 planets being gone, Adipose 3, Pyrovilia and the moon of Poosh. The bit where the Doctor mentions that someone tried to move the Earth once before, a long time ago.
Someone tried to move the Earth once before. Long time ago.
Which it did happen in the Daleks' invasion of Earth in William Hartnell's era. Their attempts to put Pylus, the planet, were thwarted by the pull of the Earth's magnetic core. I've been analysing that Easter egg for years, but now I found it.
A power system that will enable us to pilot the planet anywhere in the universe.
Back on Earth, Daleks have destroyed a lot of military bases, and the Valiant is destroyed. Damn.
The shields are down! There's so many of them! Abandon ship! The Valiant's down!
General Sanchez orders Martha to put on Project Indigo prototype and take the Osterhagen key if there's no help. so she teleports away while both Sanchez and a unit soldier got exterminated. Jack thinks Martha is gone because it was reverse engineered from Sontaran technology, which was left behind following their failed invasion of Earth in that year. But it turns out Martha teleported home and reunites with Francine. Davros appears, and I think it's great to have the character back for a modern era. I also love Dalek Khan's laugh. I thought it was pretty freaky. So Donna sits on steps. Albino servant gave Donna some water and somehow knew there was something on her back and apologised for Donna's loss that was yet to come. So later she reminded the Doctor the bees disappearing, which is a clue. The bees were returning home to the planet Melissa Majoria, the Tandoko scale. They realised that if they follow the trail they can find the Earth. So the Shadow Architect orders the Doctor to lead her and a Jadun into battle, but the Doctor managed to get away. It's a shame because I'd love to see Jadun fighting with the Daleks. That would have been cool. Meanwhile, the Daleks took people out of their homes. And it's scary when they destroyed the house where the guy and his wife and son went back in. Although we have a funny scene where Wilfred uses a paint gun and shot a paintball at the Dalek's eyepiece.
You're welcome with me.
Will I?
That was Bernard Cribbins' idea, just to make a reference to the Peter Cushing Dalek Invasion Earth 2150 AD film. Luckily Rose saved their lives and she's been trying to find the Doctor as well. According to Wilfred, last time Donna phoned, she was on the planet Midnight. While the TARDIS is in the Medusa Cascade and the Doctor mentioned he came when he was a kid, 19 years old, and there's nothing he can do, our heroes on Earth pretty much gave up. Until someone got in touch with Subwave Network, and it was Harriet Jones. It's great to bring her back.
Harriet Jones, former Prime Minister.
Yeah, I know who you are.
Apparently, if Penelope Wilton declines, they would have had either Mr. Copper or Elton, which would be great to bring them back as well, but Wilton accepted, as she said she'd do anything for Russell T Davies. Apparently when Harriet Jones said the Subwave Network was created by Mr. Copper Foundation...
It was created by the Mr. Copper Foundation.
I think that was created by Mr. Copper, which is cool, and Harriet developed it. So everyone got in touch each other, except they couldn't contact Rose, so after the conversation, our heroes uses their technology and phones to send signal to get the Doctor to Earth. Unfortunately, the Daleks have detected it, and before Harriet Jones gets exterminated, she gave control network to the Torchwood. It's sad that they killed her off.
Exterminate!
So after the Doctor and Donna found the Earth, our heroes managed to get contact with the Doctor, and Donna describes it as outer space Facebook. So then Davros got in touch. Sarah Jane is like, but he's dead, as she remembered seeing him got exterminated on screen back in Tom Baker's era. The Doctor points out that Davros was destroyed in the very first year of the Time War in the Gates of Elysium. He saw the command ship flew into the jaws of a nightmare child and he tried to save him. We also learn that Davros has made new race of Daleks, as he shows his body where you can see his ribcage. Ugh. So the Daleks finds out that Subwave Network is coming from Torchwood. Jack, Rose and Sarah Jane are looking for the Doctor. The TARDIS lands in a street, and the bit where the Doctor sees Rose and running towards each other, smiling, really puts a smile on my face first watching it. It's great to see them together, but I was like, no! When the Dalek was right there and exterminated the Doctor.
Exterminate!
Luckily Jack appeared and destroyed it, so they dragged the Doctor into the TARDIS. In the cliffhanger, Gwen and Yanto using machine guns against the Daleks, as she said she's fighting like Owen and Tosh. Sarah Jane almost ran over the Daleks, and because they don't accept apologies, they're about to exterminate Sarah Jane. The Doctor is regenerating with end credits.
I'm regenerating!
Man, first watching this as 9 years old, I thought he was going to regenerate back into Christopher Eccleston, as I was only familiar with those two Doctors at the time and forgot about Time Crash. But then that got me thinking that's the end of David Tennant's era, but we obviously find out in Journey's End. I really love this episode. What do you guys think of The Stolen Earth? Drop it down in the comments below. Doctor Who Journey's End, the 13th episode of Series 4, is written by Russell T Davies and starring David Tennant, Catherine Tate, Rima Agyeman, John Barrowman, Elizabeth Sladen and Billie Piper. This episode is also starring Noel Clarke, Camille Kajuri, Adjo Ando, Eve Miles, Gareth David Lloyd, Tommy Knight, Alexander Armstrong and John Leeson. We're in the end game now. So yeah, there's 3 deleted scenes as there's a reason why they've been cut. First we see the Doctor gave Metacris's Doctor a small piece of coral from the TARDIS so that he could grow his own TARDIS, but they felt that Bad Wolf Bay would be too long and complicated. Secondly, there's Donna on the phone after when she said goodbye to the Doctor as she doesn't remember him. There's a scene where she looks and hears the sound of the TARDIS dematerializing, but Donna remembering would lead to her death, and since she didn't recognize the Doctor, it would make sense to assume she would recognize the noise of the TARDIS. There's also a final scene where the Doctor looked at the scanner as it's alerted something and 2 Cybermen appeared right behind him, which lead to the next Doctor, which I admit it would be scary, but I prefer the ending the way it is, as Russell T Davies felt that a cliffhanger was not appropriate after such a sad ending. So the Doctor puts his regeneration effect into his hand in the jar, and still, the 10th Doctor, when I first watched it, I was like, oh, thank God for that.
Well, alright.
So Ianto and Gwen stopped firing and realised the time lock that Tosh worked on. The Dalek is locked out and Gwen and Ianto are locked in. As the Daleks are about to exterminate Sarah Jane Smith, luckily Mickey Smith and Jackie Tyler appeared and destroyed both of them. I was like, yes! I didn't expect to see them again, but I'm glad they came back as Sarah Jane, Jackie and Mickey witnesses the Daleks stealing the TARDIS. Sarah Jane went to the Daleks saying she surrendered, so did Jack and Mickey. Martha decides to leave and arrive at Germany and met a German woman. She knows about the Osterhagen key and points gun at her as she was scared, so then lowering it down and let Martha continue her mission. So the Doctor, Rose, Donna and Captain Jack arrived on Dalek Crucible, but the TARDIS door closed and locks Donna in, and it fell down into the fire. It's a really sad scene when the Doctor watches the TARDIS getting destroyed. At least the hand and jar glass break and the hand grew another Doctor. I find it funny when Donna was like,
You're naked!
So Jack shoots at the Supreme Dalek but exterminates him. But he uses immortality to allow him to escape. We get a funny moment with Duplicate Doctor and Donna bantering on in the TARDIS. Russell T Davies said this is so busy and so mental and so epic and universal in scale that of course you need 2 Doctors to solve it, and they've got Colin Regan playing the Duplicate Doctor, who's great resemblance to David Tennant.
I don't know. Also, rough.
Oi!
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 Spanish!
So meanwhile there's people including Sarah Jane, Mickey and Jackie in the corridor. The Daleks activating the Crucible. Both Doctors were horrified as they know how the reality bomb works. Captain Jack came to Jackie, Mickey and Sarah Jane, and we get great lines like,
I climbed through 2 miles of ventilation shafts chasing life signs on this thing, and who do I find? Mickey Mouse!
You can talk, Captain Cheesecake.
Sarah Jane gave Jack a warp star that was given by Varen Soothsayer, as he said it's for the end of days. He also gave her the puzzle box in Whatever Happened to Sarah Jane, as she mentioned. Samantha broadcasts on Crucible and tells the Doctor that Osterhagen key to detonate 25 nuclear warheads in strategic locations under the Earth's crust to destroy the planet and disable the reality bomb. And of course the Doctor was horrified, so Jack and the others contacted Davros and threatened to use a warp star.
Captain Jack Harkness calling all Dalek boys and girls, are you receiving me?
And we have an awesome moment where Davros recognised Sarah Jane back in the events of Genesis of the Daleks.
That face, after all these years.
Davros. Sarah Jane Smith. Remember?
Rose told the Doctor it was Harriet Jones who gave her life to get the Doctor to Earth. Davros asked him how many died for him. We get flashbacks of characters like Jenny, River Song, and Astrid Peth, Controller, and others. So the Daleks transported the rest of our heroes to Crucible, so the Duplicate Doctor arrived trying to use that weapon.
Brilliant.
but Davros zapped him, and same thing happened to Donna. Which, by the way, Davros had a metal hand because in Revelation of the Daleks, his hand got shot off.
Main force of Daleks is well hidden.
So the reality bomb is counting down, but then nothing happens as Donna is using controls to stop Davros from electrocuting her, disable Dalek's gun, and spun them around.
Help me! Help me!
It turns out that Dalek Khan betrayed the Daleks by getting Donna in the right place at the right time. So all the planets except Earth are back in their place, and because the duplicate Doctor exploded all the Daleks, everyone has to leave. The Doctor tried to save Davros again, but he refuses and calls him the Destroyer of Worlds.
You are the destroyer of worlds!
So after the TARDIS leaves, the Doctor contacts Gwen and Yanto for the energy of the rift as a rope and the TARDIS as a tow truck to move the Earth back to where it belongs, and help from Luke, Mr. Smith and K9.
TARDIS space code now being transferred. The process is simple.
Oh yeah, the Doctor and Rose seems to recognise the resemblance of Gwen from Gwyneth back in The Unquiet Dead, when he mentions the old Cardiff family.
An old Cardiff family?
Yes, all the way back to the 1800s.
I thought so. Spatial genetic multiplicity, eh?
We get a nice music where everyone in the TARDIS moved the Earth back to where it belongs, and everyone cheers. I love this moment, and to be honest, they are my favourite Doctor Who gang, as I see that as the Doctor's family. So the Doctor drops Sarah Jane, Mickey, Captain Jack and Martha off at Earth. Rose, duplicate Doctor and Jackie off a parallel Earth. It's a nice ending for Rose when there's David Tennant's version of the Doctor who's human and gets to marry Rose and have a child. Because Donna is human with a Time Lord's DNA, she'll die as her head burns. This is really sad scene. You can actually feel it as she's been wanting to stay travelling with the Doctor forever. But the Doctor has to wipe her mind and get her home. The Doctor tells Wilfred and Sylvia what happened and let them know she shouldn't remember the Doctor and the time with him, otherwise she dies.
No, 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 please, please, no, 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 no!
Just after the Doctor says Donna is the most important woman in the universe, tell her that once in a while, we get a funny moment when Donna was like, I was asleep on my bed in my clothes like a flipping kid. So the Doctor pretends to be someone called John Smith so he can get himself out without Donna remembering him. The Doctor tells Wilfred that his friends are with someone else and he's fine with that. And Wilfred promised he will look out for the Doctor, which is nice. So the Doctor went back to the TARDIS taking his jacket off as it's drenched with rain. And again he looks sad and lonely. So, that's Journey's End. I'd say this is the best Series 4 episode. My top 3 favourite series finales. Because you have everything in there, I freaking love Series 4. Definitely my top 3 favourite New Who series. What do you guys think of Journey's End? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.